Finally, I have everything that I need. Thanks to that mad poet, I have the Necronomicon and a destination, finally, to locate the forgotten city of Neruzavin. This journey will be a long one, surely across land and seas both. But after all the effort that has been put forth, after everything I have attempted over the last few years, this is the victory lap. I will be denied no longer. The black stars beckon, and I will find them. I am Count Hasserton Lowells IV, and when I am done here, no academic throughout the inner seas will forget this name. Somewhere, deep within these sands, I will build history.
It's been just over 2 weeks now since we set sail on the Selin Starling, leaving the town of Thrushmoor, the closest that most of us have to a home we can remember, as close as most of us have to anything that we can remember. At first, the voyage, though somewhat uncomfortable, was simple. We seek to pursue Count Hasserton Lowells IV, Lord of Versex County and the previous employer of most of our adventurers here. And for those that were not once of his court, I believe you have your own reasons to seek him in his use of a certain tome, the Chain of Knights. You're pursuing him not just across land, now sea, but also across dimensions, using a ritual to travel to the realm of dreams, to follow in his footsteps. Hopefully not just to track what he seeks, but also to find what had happened to your missing memories. Now recently, it's a great pantomimes. Now recently, last week, 2 weeks ago, our last episode, I suppose, we did unfortunately have to miss a week because the weird midsummer scheduling demon, the true final boss, has reared its head. Last episode, we ran afoul of a tribute-taking ship off the coast of Razmaran, a secular, religious nation headed up by what many would call a cult, perhaps.
Oh.
No?
A reputable religious organization.
Sham.
Roro.
However you see it,
Clever ruse.
the captain of that barge found issue with the papers and the ties that we had paid the previous dock and sought to take the whole of the ship and maybe its crew in exchange as penance for their transgressions and piety to the living god Razmir. Well, we weren't having any of that.
He got to take the crew on.
But after fighting them off, we had a new problem. That barge ran on the backs of more than a dozen slaves captured in its hold that had nowhere to go. Gentle souls and kind hearts that you and your captain, Skywin Freeling, are, you elected to take them aboard, and now the conditions upon the Selin Starling are a little cramped. This was a vessel barely meant to ferry any passengers down its river journey. The 6 of you that had embarked upon it, counting Reese and, of course, Cammy, who is unfortunately not here today, as well as 2 other scholars that had boarded prior, were about as much as it can handle. Add, 17 more to that.
It's like some of the biggest people you can possibly take as passengers to. Like, we're all giants.
Conditions are unpleasant.
Now we really have to care about like the weighting, distribution.
Make sure you don't capsize
we
the
have-
ship by
we
just
have 2 dwarves
clustering
in this
too
hold.
close to one end.
We got to put them on opposite sides.
But before we continue with today's adventures, from Nebula 315, a hero points for our very average dude, Easy.
Thank you, Nebula. Press on. Just shake it off. Okay.
Who says I have to use a stepladder to reach my upper cabinets. Being a 5'3" lady is hard. Changing light bulbs is a nightmare.
I also have to use a step ladder.
Yeah, that's like the tall people still have to do that. The ceiling is actually pretty high off the ground usually,
10 foot.
but the ceilings be tall. But so I can only imagine cut like an entire foot off of me. That does sound annoying. As we had awoken this morning, our daily preparations, you, MD, had some mind to conduct a ritual. Before we go into that, let's go around and briefly introduce our adventurers. And we'll start over here.
I'm Marcus. I play Marius, the ghoul dwarf ranger, who's shorter-ish than some of the people here. We'll figure that out.
Pick a height right now. Say a number. How tall is Marius?
4'9".
He's 4'9". All
Sure.
right. Moving on.
Very tall
don't
for
think
a
I
dwarf.
Still a
don't
fairly tall dwarf.
don't think I got it beat. I'm Colby. I play MD, the full-blooded orc rogue, who is a good old 6'8", 6'8", heavily scarred, very mean.
And we
bug.
stopped incrementing up every time we list our
It's
height.
it's always been 6'8".
Uh-huh.
Trey plus
It's right here on my paper. It's one of the first things I wrote down.
Fair enough.
Howdy, I'm Derp, and I play Trey, the frontline hobgoblin fighter in full plate with a pokey stick. I got a special helmet now because I bought a thing, and I actually forgot about that. I haven't been using it for the last couple sessions, but I have 2 little gems, and I can do things with them because I'm a fighter.
I'm Kevin. I play Easy, just a normal, average bard, just a human, just trying to live and realizing the power of festering boils.
The most horrifying spell I think I have seen in Pathfinder yet. Whatever the hell that was that you cast last episode that I'd say we're never going to talk about again, but I am 100% confident is going to come up again.
I raise
Probably
you.
lots of times.
We found
I think he's found his calling in life. and
we
it's
found his wall of force.
Giga leprosy.
I
It's like-
raise you waves of ecstasy.
That's first edition. I don't even think it made it to 2E, did it?
It didn't
did
because
not.
it's
Every
kind of dumb.
every
was-
bard.
way too strong. That's most crazy. That was first edition, though. Everything was nuts.
Every bard
man-
has that one spell.
The man who's terrified of blood now just wants to spew pus everywhere.
But it's not blood,
yeah, it's not
though.
blood.
So like, he's not afraid of the horribly acidic, disgusting blister goo.
No, he
he's
was
scared
inspired,
of blood.
yeah.
That's different.
It's his muse.
Yeah, he was inspired by the count.
Yeah, he has
Count as
such
your
love in his heart.
muse.
For
Like
all kinds
Pietro
of people.
Brellin, the very sickly lord of that grandiose hall in the dream, that has given you the worst conceivable inspiration.
When are you gonna cast Ettercap?
Like a spider hair.
Cast Dance with Spider.
You, MD, had the thought this morning to renew a ritual that you had cast with Cammy, this ritual of bonding that tied your life forces together and enabled you to keep her safe, to keep her protected. It is a ritual that takes pretty much the entirety of a day to perform. And you find this morning, as you get your things together, ready to conduct this once more, it seems unfeasible. Just from the sheer amount of people crammed into this ship, the lack of room, the lack of space, the amount of uninterrupted time that you need, and the focus required both from you and Cammy. As long as these slaves are boarded on your ship as well, there's just not a way to make it happen. The ritual you have to travel to the Dreamlands happens both at night when people are resting and is much, much shorter. Hopefully, you will still be able to find room to make that happen. But for now, renewing the bonding seems all but impossible. Leaving the group of you with little to do but to continue your research. Your research into these various dream rituals, trying to discover how exactly to follow in Count Laos' footsteps. And while you're still off the coast of Rasmaron, desperately wanting to be anywhere else, I'm sure, what else can you do? So, everyone, a day at sea, a day at the books. What do you want to look into?
I'll look into the Ghoul King skull again.
Yeah.
I got a lead.
We're so
Alright.
close. I can almost taste it.
You two want to work on the Royal Ghoul's skull, still pouring through these tomes, trying to find whatever the passphrase would happen to get this through. What are you up to? What are you after?
What was the next one?
The next one down,
Stone Idol.
That
there's
you...
Ambassador's Heartstone, there's Webbed Foot, there's Captain's Tricorn, there's Greenstone Idol. There is Intimidation on Royal Ghoul Skull, though. You were helping with that one. But
Was
those...
You helped once.
I helped once.
Yeah,
You
we tried it
helped
twice last
once.
time.
But those are the other 4 you don't have yet. Heartstone, Webbed
What's
Foot.
the Captain's Tricorn?
Captain's Tricorn is going to be Acrobatics, Crafting, or Thievery.
Hmm.
Those are going to be the avenues you need to pursue as you attempt to start to figure out what in the hell about a very basic hat would be so relevant. You'd be poring over emotions of the past, the Shadow's ship, and Voyage of the Rainbow Servant.
Oh, it was the Heartstone. That was the other one that we were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heartstone has...
On my list, the next one down is the Greenstone Idol.
Yeah, but
Yes,
we were
none
looking
of,
at
none
the
of the
Heartstone.
ones past, none of the 4 that are left have any progress on them. You have
Yeah,
attempted
we tried
some,
Heartstone.
but none
Yeah.
of them have been successful
Yeah,
yet. So
Cammy
there's
attempted Heartstone.
there's no lead that's been made.
What was the idol? Water lizard.
Idol is going to take occultism, religion, or diplomacy. Any of those would help you
Okay.
as you look through Festival of the Snake, the Forgotten Servants, and the Illusion of the
can-
Weeping Ones.
You know-
Start on the Idol too.
I'll just take a swing at the Tricorn.
Okay.
Do you
Well, the-
think you can finish the?
And how about
the
you,
Ghoul?
Marius?
Give crafting.
Yeah. Which was the one that had acrobatics?
That was the Captain's Tricorn's acrobatics,
Ooh,
crafting,
acrobatics
and thievery. It is a
crafting.
very,
Let's go.
I can definitely help.
very
with that.
your skill set to learn
Yeah.
about the fancy pirate hat. So we'll start with that one because that's just trying to crack open something new for the first time. Who's taking the lead?
You can take the lead.
And
I
before you
might
roll
be-
them,
I might be good at that one, so I'll take the lead.
before you roll them, from a sane 221 in the chat, the figure in yellow looks at each of you, cocks their head. Seems you may need some guidance. Hero points. Hero points around the circle. A great tip from this fine gentleman who doesn't want to see his new friends around the table, new old friends,
I get 2.
horribly murdered any more than you need to. And yes, in fact, Derp, you do get 2.
I'm
Here's a
fancy.
stack of cards. So you got a couple of potential rerolls, maybe.
I got Battle Cry.
Battle Cry has
Hey.
returned.
I got run and shoot.
Hey, it got to the Ranger!
Yeah.
It happened!
Daring attempt and make way. How hard could it be? Coming through.
Rage and fury. The red veil descends.
That sounds very easy to me.
Yeah.
He's gonna lose it.
It's his barbarian arch.
All right, who's leading on the tricorn?
He's leading on the
All
track.
right, then you give me your aid roll first. Trey, let's see what you get.
And I'll do crafting for my aid because it sounds like he wants to do acrobatics.
Yeah.
And you can duplicate. This is the rituals when you do everything different. Research, you can
Yeah.
do whichever one you want.
Okay.
There
I'll probably
is
do this
no-
one better. It is slightly higher.
Fair enough.
28.
28. Research DC 8 is 20, so that will regular succeed. +1 to your roll here, Marius.
I think you're aiding too.
No,
He's
they're
doing
we're
the other
doing-
one.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
We're doing.
There's 2 of
different
you on
stuff.
each. They're
Alright.
trying to finish the ghoul skull. They're desperately
Ghoul
trying to
rules.
make progress.
Well,
That's what we got him for.
I'm
Believe-
going to use a re-roll with the conveniently named rollback.
Believe in the me that believes in you.
Rollback.
You can do it. When you're rolling the crafting check,
Yep, and it got better by 1 for
That's
a
better.
3
ooh,
for 20.
pog.
Hey, that meets the aid DC.
21.
21.
You both hate each other, but
21.
no one
Not
does.
what he's really looking for so much. So as you start to peruse these tomes here to look into the captain's tricorn, you looked into this briefly before you tried to start it, and it was difficult because this is such a mundane item. Out of everything on the list, some are generic, some are ambiguous. This is truly just normal. Like, this is just a hat that exists. There's no further detail. There's no information about what you're looking for. And as you start to look through these tomes, in particular, the Shadow's ship, you find an interesting passage. It's not much to go on, it's not much information, but it mentions a ship with a blood-red triangular sail from its main mast. This is an interesting coincidence, as it peculiarly matches the description of the ship that you had once seen trailing behind you in the fog some weeks ago. You are confident this is relevant to your investigation. Spoiler. It's not necessarily in this particular space, and that critical failure means that before you've even really begun, you're locked down a very unhelpful trail. It will make it take some time for you to realize your mistake in the future.
Hooray!
Yay!
You did it.
Progress, everybody! Who is maining between you two? You said you were?
I'm going to actually start research on the idol.
You're doing your own thing. Okay.
So I'm confident Easy can get there. I tried to help one time, bumbled it. It's like, I don't know what's going on.
You're going to go on your own adventure. You're going to try and research this strange rock.
Yep.
Okay, strange rock.
Strange rock?
Strange idol. Greenstone idol.
18 on the die. It's you said religion was one of them, right?
Occultism, religion, diplomacy, yes.
So it's a total of a 34.
34 will succeed.
E-
Why don't you go ahead and roll me 1d8?
1d8.
See how much progress you make
7.
this day. 7.
Ooh.
Does
I'm
he get sneak attack damage?
Sneak attack on the knowledge contained in the books. You gotta sneak up on them.
The book has a spine.
Your day is somewhat more productive, though admittedly Marius and Trey will feel like they have been on the beginning of a great thread as
Progress
you
was made.
reconvene this afternoon, confident they're at the beginning of something. You truly have found something, and it is unsettling at best. Their reference was something that matched what you had seen in this world, something that caught their attention and sent them on a wild goose chase. You first need to figure out this greenstone idol of a water lizard. You have some details but no specificity. And with the tomes that are related to this, the ones connected to this research that Lowell's have used after a day, you're confident this water lizard is no simple animal. This is not referring to a lizard of this world or even something like the strange electrical creatures that had attacked your ship before when you saw that red-sailed vessel. This is a representation of Bokru, an unimaginably powerful outer god.
Say that one more time.
Bokru.
Oh, crude.
B-O-K-R-U-G.
Oh, crude.
Knowing this, though you don't know much of what Bokru is, give me a religion check.
A 27.
May be a title you've heard in passing. You may have heard the name. You would know it as an outer god or a great old one, but nothing beyond that as to what it is. What little you're able to glean in this day, cross-referencing these books. Whoever and wherever this idol is may very well be a huge danger, especially since you know you're traveling into the dream to try to collect it. And finally, BZ, left alone with the confidence of your peers, and Reese looming over your shoulder, kind of quizzically looking, not understanding how any of this works, and truly, utterly unhelpful. You are going to try to finish off
Minus
and
1
figure out how to make this ritual work, to find the way to this royal ghoul skull, to find the way to this ancient Leng ghoul mausoleum where they had interred this dead royal. What are you
Diplomacy
rolling?
works, you said?
It's society, religion, intimidation for the royal
Society,
ghoul skull.
religion, intimidation. We'll do society.
Society it is. How's the D20 looking?
Average.
I'm gonna.
I hate to see that. It's the worst it could be.
Thank you, Asane. Rage and Fury is more helpful now than.
He's angry at the fox.
One less. One less.
Below average.
So 20.
This one's a struggle.
Yeah.
With a 20, as you're looking through, you're starting to worry that while it feels like you have all the pieces, it seems like you have all the information. You know everything about the situation, where you're trying to go, about these Leng ghouls that you can really learn, about their rituals, their festivals, their death rites. You're not confident that if Lowell's ever even did record exactly how this ritual functioned, that it's contained within the works that you had taken from the manor. You're starting to worry that there may not be anything you can find to get there. But Reese here, we're short a person. Reese here,
You can use a villain point on that.
she's looking, and she kind of points something out. So, what is it exactly we're looking for here? You spent days trying to find this, and it doesn't I feel like you're looking at the same passages, the same pictures, the same diagrams. What is it you're trying to find? It's like a passcode, right?
Yeah, like a phrase. Maybe we're missing a book. Maybe we didn't get everything. You know, like a puzzle is missing from the box.
What's it supposed to look like? Is it gonna be obvious?
Kind of like his skull.
I mean, not the word for the ritual.
Oh, well, one of them was like coffee, and the other one was pineapple. I don't know. I don't know what it really. That could just be like a transliteration.
You've been going back and forth through 3 books. I mean, they're big, obviously, but the thing you're looking for is something that Lowell's has done, right? So he would have written it somewhere. How much annotation could there possibly be in these things? Can't you just flip through it until you find something weird that stands out to you?
I guess I kind of ignore the things he writes in there.
Isn't the things he writes the whole point of what you're trying to research right now?
Yeah.
Look, I'm not. I never claimed to be smart. All right?
You got street smart.
Book smart. I never claimed to be. This isn't exactly my area of expertise, but you've been looking for this for days. It's either there or it isn't, ain't it?
Okay, I'll flip through again.
Look, give me that, and she'll grab one of the books that you're not looking through right now. One of the ones that you had been using previously. She just picks up, I don't know, randomly says, "Manual of Silence," and starts kind of just flipping through it.
All blank pages.
I heard it's a lot of crap, don't he?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. You see her kind of settle up, lean forward a little, and start focusing. And for the last bit of this, she is looking with you. And every now and then, she kind of points something out, leans it over. You don't think it's particularly important. But later that afternoon, about when you're ready to give up for the day, she points out one more thing. What about this? And it is a passage that Lowell's has scrawled across the bottom of the page that is not even a passage. It's literally just a single word.
It cannot. No.
It's no relation to anything. You had seen it before and written it off as much of what Lowell's puts to paper, the scrawled ravings of a madman. It is just the name of a breakfast pastry. And you were fairly certain he was hungry and wrote on the wrong piece of paper. But she points it out, and you look back at it again to think about it. It's weird. It has no place there. It's not the craziest thing that Lowell has written down, but it's not impossible. Give me another check.
Okay.
Can you read?
15 plus 11, 26.
The
Could always reroll
26.
that.
You think about it, and you flip a couple pages forward, a couple pages back. Look at what else he has written, what he was going through,
Strudel.
what he connected on the
Muffin
page.
Tart,
Danish.
Banana.
Parfait.
It's his grocery list.
croissant.
This isn't a random menial thought of the Count's. That's it. It was just at that moment that it had been told to him, and he just wrote it on the page that happened to be open. That's the passphrase that will direct the ritual to the ghoul burial site.
Ghouls love muffins.
What is it? Easy.
Croissant.
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 You gotta say it like
French.
Carl Weezer.
Croissant.
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 Our
You see,
weird
you're a genius.
food themed. It just seemed out of place, didn't it? Even for the count, it seems rather random. Doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't see any reason for it to be there. And we're looking. That's what I've been saying. We're just looking for a word. You're not looking for logic. You're not trying to get in the man's head, if such a thing is even possible, and wouldn't drive a man more insane than you were when you first came to Thrushmoor.
Yeah, maybe the secret to the dreams is a balanced breakfast.
Is a pineapple a big part of your balanced breakfast normally?
I mean, to not get scurvy on the seas, gotta get that. Gotta get fruit.
We're on a river. This is not more than 10 minutes from civilization at any given time. Well, this ain't exactly a voyage across the outer seas to Cassomir or anything.
You never know when you can get pulled into.
Do you still on the weird pirate kick?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shakes your head and hands you the book. Just gets up and walks away. But you have
He did it.
the passcode to the ghoul mausoleum. Now, as the sun starts to set and the cramped, crowded conditions of the Sullen Starling, unpleasant as they are, start to calm a little bit. The ship still sails during the night. Skywyn takes her rest, but she has a helmsman to keep the ship simply on course. Again, it's a river voyage. It's not hard. You aren't fighting the seas out in the middle of the ocean or anything. You're just cruising down the Sullen River. The Sullen Passage, one of the main trade thoroughfares of the inner seas. There's less crewmen on deck, and most of the freed slaves you've taken from the barge are trying to find what cover they can. It's just not feasible to fit everybody in the hold on deck where you all have been sleeping. Many of them are having to find space in the cargo hold down below deck simply because there's not an alternative. But nobody is sleeping out on the exposed deck. No one's out where the weather and the water is. And for you to perform your ritual, the deck of the ship, as night comes, seems to be the clearest place there might be.
I guess that means we're doing the ritual under a moonlit
We
sky.
get to sleep under the stars tonight.
Mhm.
When was the last time we've done that?
Yeah,
Should
it's
I-
like camping on a boat.
Leave you here. If this works, you're just gonna be sprawled out across the deck. That's.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm gonna wake you up if I move you, but
No, here's
Yep.
fine.
all right.
We'll
Well,
just
I guess,
be out of the way as much as possible.
I guess I'll stay out here too. Make sure nothing adverse happens.
Yeah.
Knowing you lot and your luck, this will be the night something more strange fire-breathing lizards jump on the deck or something.
Just make
Hopefully
sure-
you'll wake up.
Hopefully that's just all there is fire-breathing lizards. Our luck, it just gets worse.
Well, Cammy's got the stairs. Let's see it. The group of you take your places. Arranging the ritual circle, drawing what's necessary, getting the various reagents in place. The incense, the candles, the incantations. It's no harder on the deck than it is inside the cabin, but the added sounds of the night around you, the owls, the insects in the trees, the wind whistling down the river alongside you, it's a little harder to focus than in the quiet, dim cabin. But you need the space and you need the uninterrupted time. The ritual begins. My friends, we must do once more what we have done many times before. And as you sit and pass this many-faceted staircase around 28 steps carved in this tiny palm-sized figurine, feeling up and down each, who is leading with the Arcana check?
I can.
Who normally does it?
Not me.
Cammy.
Cammy
No,
does
Cammy
the
does the
occultism at the
occultism.
end.
Oh no, I am
Yeah,
the
you
lead
always-
with the Arcana. I forgot.
You are up first, good sir. Give me your Arcana.
Ooh.
I believe that's a 28.
28.
That's why I lead.
28 will succeed. After 10 minutes of focus, the chanting, you pass the stairs along a diplomacy check to, I believe that's Reese. That's what that gets handed to. So you want to roll for Reese, good sir?
3 on the die.
With 19, that's going to be a regular failure. Reese focuses, she tries, but this is
It's only a minus
it's not
4.
what she does. This is not her area of expertise. She is not a magically inclined person. She tries, she does her best, but even as she hands the staircase to Easy, sat next to her, you can feel the rocking of the ship, the blowing of the wind. Something is amiss. Performance.
You did great.
Focus. Okay.
15 plus 20 to 35.
35
Yes.
will critically succeed.
We're at a minus 3.
Minus 2.
Oh, it's a plus 2.
Minus 4 for Reese's failure. Plus 2 for Reese's critical success. As it's passed to Marius for the survival check. The energies flowing through you, whirling around the circle as you feel your eyelids grow heavier. The ritual nears its end. Give me your survival check.
It's okay. It's only been a few weeks. We're not rusty or anything.
No pressure.
Okay.
No pressure.
All right. That's an 18 plus 14 for 32.
32 is a regular success. Not any better, not any worse. And finally, as you pass the staircase over to Cammy, complete the ritual as she has many times before. She takes it, focusing, the incantation continuing. Even as you hand off this tiny little figure, it feels like it weighs 20 pounds in your hands, like it's a mass of lead, dense and packed. You pass it to Cammy, you see the heft as she takes it, focusing for a few minutes, as usual, before she opens her eyes and furrows her brow, like something is a little bit wrong. And she just says a single word. Oh. Before her eyes roll back in her head. And she just goes limp. Now, normally this ritual ends, ideally, with a group of you falling asleep, but it happens unanimously. It's not something you experience. You see the stairs drop, you see the portal open. You are asleep in the waking world in this transition between planes, but you see Cammy drop. And as she falls, like she just passed out from nowhere, the stairs drop from her hands and clatter onto the ground. And when they do, there is a blast. A wave of energy pulses out, muting the sounds of the world around you. A moment of utter and complete silence before all of you feel yourself pulled, jolted inward to where the stairs had fallen, sucked down. You feel yourselves almost shrinking, pulled into a single point in something utterly different than what has ever happened with this ritual being completed before. You're tumbling, falling through the air, not through darkness, but through a confusing, overlapping series of sights, whirling colors, sights, sounds, and smells, before finally, unceremoniously, you impact soft ground. It's cold, near frozen. And as you look around, the sound of the wind has renewed, 3 times louder than it was before, near a deafening howl as it blasts through the air around you. You are freezing. You look around and you see the 4 of you and Reese also, all picking yourselves up in the deep snow in the middle of a raging blizzard.
Well, that's not normal.
Is everyone okay?
What the bloody hell happened? Where are we?
Oh, you're here.
You're
I'm not
welcome.
supposed to be.
I mean, I'm glad
Welcome.
you're here.
Cammy didn't make it through.
She said,
Narcolepsy.
That doesn't explain.
Yeah, she said, oh, like she realized something.
I'm guessing something happened. She passed out.
But she finished the ritual.
Yeah.
Reese just kind of curls up, but you can all see your breath clouding out in front of you as you exhale. It is not just freezing; it is dramatically below zero out here.
I'm the least dressed one here too.
I'm already wearing a coat.
We need to go
Everybody
try to,
takes 9 points of cold damage.
Nice.
Oh.
Right.
we need to try to find some
We
shelter.
have to do something. We can't stay here. Where's Cammy? And
That's
Reese
what
kind
I'm-
of starts like throwing some of the snow around, just
Yeah.
like rustling and digging and looking.
Already
the rest
doing
of you
that.
doing?
I was already doing
You
that.
joining too?
Yeah.
Everyone spends a moment sifting through the snow, digging. Make me perception checks.
27.
32.
32.
Oh, sorry, 29.
Rolled a 1 on the die.
You digging.
32.
All right, the
I'm
30,
panicking.
32s, those are 2 really solid perception checks. Visibility is terrible. You cannot see where you are. The snow is maybe a foot deep here as the blizzard whips around. Underneath it seems to be hard, craggy, rocky ground, like the side of a mountain. Nothing like the environment of Thrushmoor, the Sullen River that you had left. But after a few frantic moments of searching and digging, standing and looking around, finding what you can, the 2 of you are confident Cammy is not here. It is just the 5 of you here in the center of this blizzard, freezing. But you do notice you have your dream equipment with you. You have your bandolier, you have your shield, you have your transforming gauntlet on your hand.
Best one.
This is the dream.
Right then.
Start looking for somewhere to hide.
Oh, we're gonna
Yeah.
die if we don't do something.
Yeah.
What way do we even go? Where are we?
Well,
Go-
technically we can't die, really.
Well, we'll go that direction. We just start walking in the direction.
Is it nighttime or?
It's almost impossible to tell. It is dark.
It's-
It is very dark. You're certainly seeing through your dark vision. Reese fumbles around a little bit. I don't have a lantern. Can't see anything here.
I can tell you as far as I can see, there's nothing.
I could.
Lantern's not gonna help.
I just
She just kind of, you can
Grab-
see her and Easy both in
I
pretty much complete darkness, just like
grab
reaching
Reese's
for things.
hand. Easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm gonna pull out a rope
Yep.
and in 10-foot increments tie everybody together.
Wait.
We really.
Everyone takes 15 points of cold damage.
we gotta go. We gotta
Yeah,
boogie.
now no one can get lost.
I said 15.
15. It must be 40, 50 below out here. The cold is biting to the point where it doesn't even feel like cold. It feels like any exposed skin you have is burning with almost immediate frostbite.
I don't have any exposed skin.
This is awful.
This
we
is
have the
a
most armored.
I'm in a
truly
metal suit.
miserable thing.
I'm
Reese,
in a fridge.
as you get tied around, she kind of helps with this for a moment before she just takes it. I don't even have my rapier with me. I can't do anything here. You can just wake up, right? How do you just leave?
You're gonna be
Is
able
this
to
what we're
concentrate.
supposed to be? Is that supposed to be a crypt of some kind?
We don't know. It could be nearby. Just if you want to wake up, concentrate. Meanwhile, I'm gonna hand her a hatchet so she has something. It's better than nothing.
Just take it, give it a couple cursory swings. I can't even see what I'm swinging at.
If there's something, I'll point it out. Just walk.
The group of you get moving. As you start to trudge through the snow, exploration mode here. What's everyone doing?
Looking for a place to
Seeking.
not die.
Yeah, seeking.
Yeah.
Do you searching and searching for sure? It's hard to make out anything, even with your dark vision here, just through the storm.
I guess I'll put a scouting on there just to have.
You don't know what might come into maybe something.
Yeah.
You also can't. Do you have any way to see? Do you have?
When you got
Okay.
light.
Yeah, I mean, I have a light. I can just try to.
You have a little. You have your little lantern.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the lantern I have. Reese doesn't have a weapon because she just didn't bring it.
She
Usually,
didn't have
She
it on
didn't
her.
have it
Yeah.
on her when she came to the dream.
I'll
so
give her
she
the-
was working with a ritual. She has a hatchet now, but she
yeah,
doesn't
but I
have
give her the
her
+1
rapier.
rapier that I have, that I never use.
You have a +1 rapier.
Yeah, we gave
she
it
would
to
much
him.
rather have that.
yeah, she's used to
I'll
that.
take the hatchet
She would
back
much
then.
rather have that than the hatchet. She's much happier with that.
Also,
Please.
I also hand her +1 war razor. War
So-
weapons.
She'll take that.
I mean,
So she's got
proficient with both.
she's got a rapier and she has this little war razor, and she's kind of just like feeling the handles. I bet I feel like I can grip these. My hands are so cold.
Well, let's keep going.
Finally doing something I've had on here forever since beginning of the campaign. Could I use a compass to try to at least keep us going in a direction?
Absolutely, your exploration activity in conditions like this, the compass will help, but the terrain clearly appears to be fairly uneven. You find fairly quickly that keeping a straight line is difficult. You could be using survival to try to keep a track and make sure that you're not turning
Yeah,
around.
mostly just
you're
want to make
getting
sure we're not
stuck.
going in like a circle
Exactly.
or something.
So what are you doing, Easy?
I'll try to
Do you
search.
have Song of Cold Resistance?
No. I have Song of Don't Be Confused.
What if all that acid burns us and it makes us feel?
What if I cast suggestion on us and then we say, you're not cold? I could try doing that.
You can ignore the mental effects. Your body's still going to be very cold, but like...
If someone flies, can you fly above the storm? Does that help?
In the amount of time that it would take to get above a
Yeah.
storm, no.
There's not much I can do. I'm just gonna huddle tight to Reese and try not to take cold damage.
So are you also searching? Or are you
Yeah.
just so you got searching and scouting in case anything comes out of storm here? As you-
Survivaling.
Survivaling, right. Just 3 searching and survivaling through the storm. As you walk through the cold here, making your way, the ground is uneven. It's difficult. It's hard to traverse. With Marius's assistance, you're able to keep largely a singular general heading going somewhere. But it becomes you, while you're using your survival, immediately apparent this is a somewhat mountainous terrain. It's not steep, it's not the side of a rocky bluff, but it is an area that seems like it would be prone to peaks. You can't see around, you can't tell, but this blizzard is intense. As you travel, you all take 9 more points of cold damage. And, after a few minutes of this journey still through the dark, no abatement of the wind, Reese speaks up. So, what exactly happens if we die?
It'll be a shock to your system. You're not going to be happy, but you won't be dead.
All right, fair enough.
If it gets too bad, we can just try to force ourselves to wake up. It's like
don't-
going to sleep.
Understand how we'd ever find the mausoleum in this sort of crypt or anything.
Multiple attempts. That's all I can guess.
We don't know if something wrong happened or if this is right.
And we could always hope that maybe the weather changes at some point. Might not always be like this.
At that, you hear a sound over the coursing winds, over the whipping song of the blizzard, a piercing, wolf-like howl. Rings shrill and clear through the storm. It sounds at once as though it's right next to you and a mile away. It's impossible to determine the direction, but it pierces perfectly. It's sound in your ears. Everybody make me a will save.
32. I rolled a 19.
Solid.
10 on the die for a 24.
This is against fear. For
Against fear.
anyone that would
33.
matter.
I'm gonna
Matters for
think.
one person.
And it is a howling sound that you're
Oh.
hearing
Interesting.
with your ears.
You might say it has the auditory trait.
Yes, it does.
So I am gonna. I'm gonna try and counteract that. I'm gonna just.
Scream.
Gonna cause an avalanche. I got a 30.
30, 32, 24, 33, 24,
No, 32.
32 with the fear bonus?
33. 'cause it's
33.
fear.
I haven't done it in a while. Counter performance is a
Performance.
Performance check, and then you
against-
can choose to take that
You can,
instead
yeah,
of your
and
save.
everyone can pick to take either his performance check or your will save. So it's basically the minimum you can roll.
Okay. So 11 plus 19 to 30.
30.
I take that.
So you would like the 30?
I take the
30 sounds
I'll
good.
take the 30.
Take the deal.
Take the 30.
I'll take the deal.
Just listen
All
to the
of
sound of my
you-
screen.
Immediately feel a piercing pall of terror set over you. You're all frightened one. Reese included. Clearly looks like she is dramatically unsettled, except you, sir. Is immune to such petty conditions as frightened one.
I'd be immune to frightened one anyways.
Trey shakes it off, but the rest of the group, it's hard to do.
It's frightening.
It is a terrifying, unnatural sound. It certainly quickens your pace as you continue forward, trying to find any kind of shelter from the storm.
If I were to make an illusory little hut,
You take 10 points of cold damage.
would that?
Yeah.
Would that? You think that would help?
Illusory what?
An illusory object in the shape of a hut. Would this? Would the wind not go through it?
You have to trick the wind. into
You
thinking that
believe
there's
the
a hut
wind
there.
would not go through it.
Yeah, I'm willing to believe anything at this point.
The
For the
cold's getting
sake
to
of
him.
whatever made that how, while we're going, I'm just going to take myself out of the chain of rope that I made. Still keep it tied together, just remove me from the loop so I'm free to help defend whatever is attacking in the dark.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Fair enough. You do have the flickering light of the lantern on Easy's belt. There's not no light here, Brother Blizzard. It's not much. As you hurry for another minute through the cold, you come across the first sign of anything in this barren landscape, a statue. A single carved sculpture of stone, blanketed on one side with packed matted snow that has blown into it from the force of the winds. A statue of a strange creature, a barrel-shaped body and a 5-sided head with strange little stalks coming out from each end. A creature that you have seen before
Sounds a little
In the
familiar.
in the cave beneath
Oh.
Iris Hill back in Thrushmoor. The sculpture is tall, looming some 12 feet over the environment around it, and seems to be standing in near nothing, though your visibility is still a dozen yards at best.
I think I know where we are.
Yeah, didn't they say their planet froze?
Yeah.
Wait, we could dream into another planet?
I'm sure
We could dream to wherever we want, really.
Cammy's told us she's dreamed of this place before anyways.
Wait, is this a statue or is this because it looked kind of like a stone in the cave?
Could be.
Interestingly, the thing's body is obscured by what appears to be a mixed garment of cloth and strange rounded plates that are wrapped around its body almost like a cloak. It's clothed in something.
Like a
And
worm?
one stalk reaches out from the front to the gap in this clothing, grasping a rod set on one end with a hexagonal spiked prism, almost like a crystal star, and on the other with an oblong, rounded, elliptical bulb. It's holding this staff aloft in a triumphant or commanding position, but given its near complete lack of human features, you can't immediately tell for what purpose or in what emotion or state.
Does the staff look like an object?
It's
Or is
part of the statue. It's
Okay.
sculpted. It's not a separate thing. It's like that's just the pose of the
And
statue.
the cloak is also sculpted,
Yes.
not a real cloak.
Not warm.
Okay, I was like
Yeah.
looking for worm.
Well, then, looking around from that statue, is it like looking at something nearby?
It's looking, well, hard to tell.
Well,
It has eye stalks
within
going
my
in every
visibility
direction,
range.
but it's holding this staff up away from you, the direction that you are going. It feels like you're coming up behind it, but it is kind of hard to tell given its eye stalks just kind of extrude in any direction.
We don't have any other signs. Just keep going, I guess.
Can I read a little aura on it and see if it's anything like did he because I saw you turn to stone before. We're pretty much close.
I didn't see
It does appear to be non-magical.
Okay.
It's sculpted with a base. It's sat upon a plinth made of the same stone that looks to be part of the same sculpture, so it doesn't look like something that got petrified. It's also dramatically larger than the ones you saw in the cave before.
Okay.
This is almost certainly a statue made intentionally, rather than a unfortunate victim of circumstance.
Okay.
The little bit of the terrain we could possibly see around us still just looks like snow and or just natural?
Snow
There's no-
coated on rock.
Okay.
Still little giving way any indication of where you are, what direction to go.
There's no inscription on the base of this.
There isn't.
All right. Well, let's keep going. We don't have a lot of time to waste.
Easy.
Okay.
As you wish, looking at this cave for something
Yeah.
to make this better, you feel a strange warmth on your hip. Something that's almost hot,
Alchemist fire.
coming from one of the pockets of this bandolier that the
Ooh.
Zoog had given you.
I'll reach in.
You reach in and you
Warm.
pull out what appears to be a single fist-sized piece of coal. It's just a lump. It's not carved as anything. It's rough. It's jagged and rounded. But it glows. The little bit of red energy, like it was just pulled from a fire. Like its very core still burns, but it doesn't burn your hand.
Is it magical?
It's absolutely magical. And you can unfold this once. The Zoogs provide.
Ooh, warm coal. I'm holding it like to my face. I'm putting it up to Reese.
It is strangely warm, and this blizzard comfortably so. But even holding it, it has an incredible effect on you. Hold it up to your face, you hold up to Reese. You feel much, much better. You're still cold, but this is certainly doing something.
Ooh.
As you continue on from the statue, the direction it's facing,
It's like
everybody but Easy takes 14 points of cold damage. Easy, you take nothing.
It's like
I'm gonna give it to
printing
Reese.
It's like printing something off a printer in the middle
Chivalry.
of winter.
Chivalry isn't dead. You hand the coal to Reese, who is just shivering.
I'll take the
hasn't
14
said
instead.
anything as she walks, just kind of curled up in a ball. And you want to hand it to her, and she just shakes her head. No,
No, you
you
have
keep
it.
that.
No,
I'm fine.
No,
it's
I-
cold, but I've suffered worse. Well, not worse cold, but worse fighting you, honestly. I'll be fine. Come on, keep going.
Okay, I'll sneak it in her cloak. Oh,
He pickpockets.
I'll reverse
Make me a
pickpocket.
thievery check. She's not letting you do that easy.
You're trying to thievery the rogue.
That's a 14.
14 plus 15, 29.
Okay. As you're going, you're better at thievery than I thought you were. Fair enough. As, as you're going, you just kind of slip it into a pocket. And she, as you walk, seems to be shivering a bit less. And at least her face loses a bit of the bright red frostbite as you
She's getting
continue to
used to
walk.
it.
Yeah, I'm just like doing a little side hook as we walk.
By the grace of whatever deities you may worship, not far beyond the statue, you come across signs of civilization. Structures rising up out of the ground. The rugged rock beneath your feet giving way to ground that has been worked and flattened. Still deep beneath snow. But you have reached a settlement of some kind.
Walls that prevent
The
wind
buildings
chill.
are absolutely alien. They do not make any sense. And even at the first you approach, it takes you some time to even figure out a means of ingress. There is no obvious door with a handle. The shape of the building is not a square. It does not rise straight from the ground in a vertical wall. The primary basis of their structure seems to be 5 points rather than 4. But into one of these strange pentagonal structures, you do find a way in, and you can slip inside for the moment out of the biting cold of the blizzard. It is still cold. You're freezing in the building, but the wind no longer feels like it will literally kill you. It's just uncomfortable. You finally have a moment where you can regroup, collect your thoughts, perhaps come up with a plan. The inside of the building is small and barren. You have no way of telling what it was once used for. But it's divided quite simply into 2 chambers. One main entryway big enough for all of you to fit fairly comfortably with a sizable amount of space left over. It's maybe 20 feet across. And a small, maybe a third of the area is cordoned off by another angular wall. Not made of stone or wood or anything you can clearly tell. Constructed of a material that isn't even entirely opaque, something that is a bit translucent. You can see into this similarly empty chamber beyond. Now, where there would logically be a door, there is simply a near circular space, a gap in the wall through which you could pass. It is short. It's only maybe 5.5 feet tall, so most of you would have to stoop to get through.
I can fit now.
But you have a space away from the storm. The door does not swing on hinges. It doesn't open outward or inward. It slides into the wall itself aside, like the entrance to some ancient Osirian tomb. But as soon as it's released, it silently slides right back into its original position, muting the winds outside. What do you do?
And there's no like furniture, nothing wood in here at all.
Nothing. It is barren.
So the size of this building is like a very small house, right?
A small house in town, maybe even more like the size of a small barn, even
Okay.
perhaps rather than a house. It is, I mean, yeah, I guess like a small home of some kind, but there's again no furnishings or anything to indicate what it was or what its purpose would be.
Are there windows?
There are not. And there only seems to be that one strange sliding panel as an access point.
But the walls are translucent, you said, or just
Only that interior wall. The outer walls, while perfectly smooth, almost like our modern concrete smooth, feel like, if not stone, something similar. They're a dark slate-colored gray, and with this light of the lantern here not being clustered out by the blowing snow, it's much easier to see this blank interior.
Right then.
What do we do?
What do we do?
We might need to just stay here and take a minute, even just to heal up.
I don't think this is right.
Probably not, but we might as well investigate while we're here.
You're looking for a ghoul skull, right? For a mausoleum?
Yeah.
Well, who knows at this point?
That's fair, I suppose.
We're pretty sure we're on an alien planet.
Well, if we don't even know what we're here looking for, what's the point of staying?
Well, it's not the right place.
If we don't even know what we're here to find, what can we do?
Look around.
For what?
Anything.
More dream.
There's
lessons.
secrets buried here.
I mean, probably. There's secrets buried anywhere. This thing doesn't mean anything. We could barely exist here without getting killed by the cold, and who knows what else is out there.
I mean, if anything, this sounded like it was the place that, led to, like, the whole reason they were trying to, what was going on in Thrushmoor, like, the polyps?
Yeah. First off, we can't be killed. Second off, it sucks, it's uncomfortable, but it's an alien planet. You don't want to look around a little bit? And thirdly, it's directly related to Thrushmoor.
This is really just a sense of asinine adventure that drives the group of you.
Pretty
Just
much.
because you need to see what it is that happens next. Just need to see what's there because it feels weird.
It's probably due to the lack of memories or past experiences that causes us to create new
Or
ones.
desire to continue living.
Yeah. I lost that when I woke up in the asylum.
Column A, column B.
Hey, I'm not the one that sold off my memories, so...
What about you? You know who you are. You just came to Thrushmoor your own volition.
I mean, look at me at this point. I don't really have much to go back to.
That is
Normalcy.
the first time she's had an opportunity to, like... You see her look at you, and then it hits her what you look like. Hasn't really had a chance to take that in, that your new Leng form here in the dream, your green skin, your elongated snout, your completely different visage. It's not the Marius she's used to looking at. She literally shakes her head. Bloody hell! Why?
The dreams are weird.
That's how we know we're in the dreams.
All that and
The stuff.
this stuff.
The changes.
He transforms into a demon?
A Lengul.
He's a ghoul. A slightly uglier ghoul.
Look, I mean
Yes,
no offense,
slightly
but that's
uglier.
not what a ghoul looks like.
That's what a nightmare ghoul looks like.
Is that better?
No.
Well, no. Yeah, it is directly better. They're not quite the same as normal ghouls.
I mean,
Like, it's literally better for us.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
they are the same.
At least I can
How
blend
is this
in
the
a
one that I
little
got pulled into?
I mean,
You come
can
back telling me stories of admittedly terrible battles, but also giant forests with the sun shining overhead and extravagant galas, and I come here and it's just a damn blizzard that'll kill you if you stand in it for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
You can
well,
wake up now that we're not in the blizzard.
Yeah,
Just
but-
concentrate.
No, but
Go to
don't-
sleep.
Don't go. It'll be
If you're gonna
fine.
stay here, well, I'll do what I can, I suppose. I'm not worth nothing, but just point me at something I can swing a sword at and I can help. I don't know what else I can really do. This
same.
is so far beyond my depth, I don't even know where to start.
Well, we're likely being hunted by something.
That howling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to make of that.
Alien something.
Yeah, it obviously didn't sound familiar.
Notably,
right?
Could have been the wind.
you are all still frightened one, minus Trey. It
I mean, I'm sure I
has
still
not-
feel the effects.
It
I
has
just
not
ignore it.
receded.
gonna pass around. We're gonna take some time to heal.
Can I
mean, we don't have a whole lot, so
Continue to try to like listen for abnormal sounds outside.
Yeah, absolutely. So while you take a brief respite here in this building, you're gonna try and bandage up as you can. You're so MD. Are you making medicine checks?
yeah, I can make medicine checks. I also have some potions. I have a few.
Yeah, these are just frostbite and
Yeah.
from an incredible cold. It's difficult to treat, but not impossible when you have the tools. You are Marius is going to be scouting or searching.
Yeah, scouting, I guess.
Scouting, because there's something out there.
Yeah.
Reese as well, with the rapier and the war razor she's been given, will be largely at the ready in case something happens to you two.
I'll be at the door guarding it, just readying to attack
You-
anything that
You,
comes through.
Marius, and Reese are just kind of door patrol squad.
It lets us take turns getting healed.
That's fair.
I'm just investigating. I want to see if there's any inscriptions or any. And this place is called Bulverai, I think.
Make me
That's all. Yeah.
wow. What kind of knowledge check would this be?
Knowledge aliens.
I feel like it's occultism.
It's a cult.
It's like knowledge aliens feels pretty occultism to me.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
Give me an
Arcana?
occultism check. What?
Wouldn't it be Arcana?
Please don't do that.
Please shut up.
Dude,
Teacher, you forgot to assign homework.
dude, for once, just shut up.
25.
And not just the 25, we've also got a hero point from Moroku-san, giving this to Easy because his chivalry is top notch for bringing his assassin girlfriend to the hells of a
Aw.
blizzard. There you go.
Yay. Cut through the fog. I'm fine, but it left my head spinning. Whoa, I could have used
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have used this.
It would have been nice earlier. What did you got for the
Oh, it was 10 plus 15, 25.
25? As you're looking around here, it's so hard to find any purpose in the building. There's no logic that you can see. Almost everything is influenced by pentagonal shape, by 5 points, including the doorway itself. That rounded passage into that like inner chamber through the somewhat translucent wall seems to be the only part of this. The walls are pentagonal. It makes the building almost kind of bulb out. It's less of a vertical structure and more of a almost pyramidal one. It's like the entire concept of our understanding of physics and structure and engineering just doesn't apply. But you have no idea what this place was once used for. What it was. The complete lack of any kind of furnishings imply that it may have been abandoned long ago. Whatever was once in here carried out, but the structure itself is in fine condition. It doesn't appear to be damaged or anything. And it's clearly holding up to the raging blizzard outside very well. With the 25, you would tell that even with the shelter of the building, obviously that's going to help. It's going to stop the wind. It's even a little warmer still than it should be. Just having stone walls between you and that, you should still be worse off in here than you are. It's probably not... It's still cold enough you don't feel like you could stay here indefinitely. Long term, you will still freeze here. But it's much better. Again, much better than it should be.
I'm also just gonna soothe myself.
Okay. So maybe who are you turning first? Andrew?
So
Whoever, I don't know who
That
looks
was
the worst. Probably Easy first.
Easy soothed himself, so he
Reese.
quickly casts some magic.
Yeah.
Reese looks pretty okay.
If Reese does, then I'm not good with undead. So Trey. That
Give me
that
a
makes me
medicine check.
nervous.
yeah, that's fine.
Cocked.
Gone.
Landed in my head.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Is it a 1?
It's a 1.
He's trying.
You know what? Actually, MD looks on edge. Like he's like, obviously here he's like, not normally
Yeah.
this shaken. He's worried about Cammy, obviously. So we're just gonna keep that natural 1. It's a 14 total.
Well, a natural 1, the critical failure, you get D6. D6 or D8? I think it's D8 actually.
D8.
D8 damage here. Treating frostbite.
7.
7 points of damage to Trey. Mundane treatment of frostbite with like some gauze, some poultices, and some
A knife.
a knife. It's
I'm gonna drink my Band-Aid.
kind of hard to do. It turns out.
Sorry.
You take that
That's fine.
7 as that hurts.
I take 2 total.
You get 2 back. You're only a little worse than you were.
pass-
No,
Some-
I lose 2 because my Band-Aid potion.
Oh, you healed 5 from the
Yeah.
bandit. Okay, I see. This icy place, such an advanced civilization brought to ruin and forever blizzards. But there are still signs of life here. Ruins are never truly dead, just replaced and fixed by other life, just out of sight. From Moroku-san, with a whoa. You take this potion, and MD turns to himself, or to Marius, or to Reese. And you hear that same howl echo through the building, ringing through the walls like you were just outside again. The piercing sound, not even slightly muted by the stone walls. It sounds closer this time, much closer. And that unsettling cry, as it rings out once more, you hear something massive outside the door. And just as you ready yourselves, a crashing sound of splintering, collapsing stone, a huge clawed hand smashes through the doorway, grasping and reaching inside. When we come back from our midstream break here, we're gonna roll a little bit of initiative, everybody.
I get to roll like 3 dice before it
We
even
get
gets
do
to
a bunch
act.
of free stuff immediately. We are going to stand up, stretch our legs, and take our midstream break. It's going to be about 10 minutes, so feel free to get some snacks, get some drinks, or if you want to, check out a couple of our stream sponsors. You can head over to Arkenforge, the providers of our fine virtual tabletop / map making software that we also use to put up all the NPC art and the map that we're going to have here in a moment. You can head over to Eldritch Foundry. They make really cool little miniatures, which you're going to see in A Horrible Situation here in a moment. Or Norse Foundry, providers of all the dice we roll around the table here. Dice of all kinds, metal, gem, glass. They're so fancy. They're so well
And
made.
you're gonna see me roll horribly here.
And
in
you
a
can
minute.
use the code UGT Show on any of these sites for a variety of discounts to help yourself out and to help support us a little bit. Don't go too far, everybody. Be right back.
Let's go.
He's excited.
I get to fight.
He's ready for action.
He's fighting.
Welcome back, everybody. Indeed, as we left off, some creature, whatever had been howling and pursuing us in this blizzard and this strange alien dream, has busted through the door of the structure we've taken shelter in.
I'm gonna need this
Hey.
to wind to go away.
Huge,
don't want any.
gnarled, clawed hand that looks almost as if all of the skin had been flensed from it and just blood and sinew remains. Smashes through the door, grasping
What a
at
surprise.
these 4 here on the inside. Who? Quick recap. We'll start on this side briefly. Who we
Do
got?
it with initiative.
I'm Kevin. I
Oh, do it and then tell me your initiative. That's a good idea. Big brain.
Normal human bard, really cold. I'm glad that Reese's here, and I got okay. I got
a Wendigo.
24.
Howdy.
I'm
I'm
scared.
Derp. I'm the one who is now the new door because that thing broke the door, and I'm gonna re-roll that.
You're a
'cause,
lot sturdier than your average stone
Yeah.
door, I think.
I'm going to re-roll with Daring Attempt from a Sane because it's a 7, and on average, it'll go up. It went down.
On average, it'll go up.
That'll be a 19.
Sorry, I was reading Scott's. Scott said, yeah. I love
Want
Scott.
to get the full campaign in. You
Yeah.
gotta believe.
Oh, and Battle Cry because that can affect its initiative.
That's true. We'll get that before I roll mine. So hang on.
I'm
You can roll it,
Colby,
hang on that
and
for
I'm
a
getting
second.
very distracted by chat. That was a bad idea, by the way, because I read.
To have the chat access?
Yeah.
That's the point. Why have
I
a
mean,
live
I
show
love
if we're
it.
not gonna
and,
read
like,
chat?
I love
That's-
reading it, but like I'll sit here and just stare at the screen and then lose focus. I'm Colby. I play
The
MD,
void
the
he goes.
full blooded, not half blood. Full. I rolled a 16 on the die. That's a total of a 32.
32, solid.
All right. I'm Marcus. I play Marius, the ghoul dwarf ranger. I'm also sturdier than the average door. I rolled a natural 20 for a 38. Do we get a +1 with what was it?
Scouting.
I would give you scouting, yes.
So 39.
So give me your battle cry. As you see this come in,
That's
Trey,
a 1. It's not scared.
roars out.
I'm re-rolling that.
Roll better. Make it scared.
Roll
it
good.
looks like this. It doesn't look scared.
That's a 3.
It needs. Okay, it probably still doesn't look
That's a
scared.
20 total.
Not scared.
I didn't think so.
It's a not scared version of that, which I think is just the regular version. If anything, I think the fear
I'm
would
scared.
generally go the other direction.
Hey, I'm happy to get rid of 2 3s, a 7, and a 1
That's
before
fair.
combat starts.
All right, it's going to get a 34, which will put it right there below Marius, who, ready at the door, was waiting for signs of this, is quick to react as the stone splinters. What do you do?
If you will allow it, before we went to break, I did want to hunt prey like as soon as we heard it. Could I have done that?
Can you hunt something you can only hear?
You know
It
it
says you
exists.
can-
Because I
Yeah, it
I'm
says-
sure you can hunt off just
yeah.
like tracks or something. Yeah, no, absolutely. Your prey could be whatever.
You must
is
be able
howling.
to see or hear the prey.
Yeah, absolutely. Your prey can be whatever is howling. You would have had nothing else to be hunting while you've been traipsing through the blizzard, so certainly.
Okay.
Snowflakes.
Arrows. Gotta remember my order. I think deadly aiming first.
Well, you roll that. I think MD might need one more point. Says Scott.
Scott.
Take that.
It's upside down.
26.
26 to hit.
Yeah. Actually, I think that'd be 24.
Now, you're shooting an arrow as his hand reaches the doorway. You see your arrow almost immediately just whipped into the winds of the blizzard harmlessly.
Okay, 2 more. Ooh, that's a double 19.
Blink.
For, let's see, math. 34 and then a 31.
Focusing up, realizing how strongly the wind is blowing, you fire 2 more arrows at the hand reaching in. One of which, the 31, just kind of glances across the flensed sinew of this creature's claw. The other, the 34,
Yeah.
was the other one? Similarly, you literally see hit and bounce back. Just not enough force to hit whatever, to pierce through whatever this thing has.
Okay, I still technically, I still have 1 action left,
Oh.
but I'll admit I do not know what to do.
One more once.
You,
Yeah.
Trey, and Reese are all up at the door right now.
I'm gonna just, what's the action? I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to hold my, my dagger to kind of shield myself.
You'd have
Okay.
to draw it.
I think, yeah. Do I have that?
You have to whip the dagger out. You can get the dagger out and get ready to protect yourself. As this thing reaches through
And that's
the
parry.
doorway. You guys in the front.
I do have quick draw.
Survey says it is, in fact, Marius that this hand reaches towards the arrows,
Yay.
swiping at you. It doesn't strike out with a claw. It's the hand in the cookie jar that comes in, grasping towards you. The hand large enough to reach around the entirety of your torso as it extends. It is going to attempt to just grab you. So this is versus your fortitude DC, not your AC.
Okay.
So your fort save plus 10. And it's going to be
Probably.
Say a 42.
52.
Yep.
It's going to be a
52.
52.
Just got it.
He just barely missed. I'm sorry.
Woo! 52 to grab you.
I guess it
You
makes
see-
sense that the hand has high grab stats.
Yeah, you see, as this thing reaches the door, through the snow and the shattered stone, all you can make out is this bloodied hand that just snatches Marius the doorway. You feel yourself yanked out into the cold, pulled up off the ground, face to face with a towering, deer-headed creature. This thing looks at you with blank, white eyes. Gore dribbling down from its maw, grinning with strange human-like teeth set in its head and massive antlers erupting from the back of its skull. It stands upright on two legs, towering some 14 feet up into the snow. And as it holds you and growls, it looks upward, and you feel the two of you launch into the sky.
Does that provoke?
Make me a will save.
I don't like this.
It's a react. Oh, yeah, it would provoke, actually. You can take a swing here.
31.
Okay.
31.
31 as you swing out at it. You lance into the snow with your spear. Find striking something, but not firmly enough to make any impact. And all of you hear, well, I don't know how else to describe it other than a sonic boom. Just a boom.
Huh?
As this thing shoots up into the sky. You feel yourself whip up into the blizzard, into the storm, like a rocket, taking off into the air at an incredible speed. The wind bites and rips against your face just from the sheer velocity this thing launches with. And you are soaring. You have no idea how high into the sky. MD.
It's just time to wake up.
Gonna hold.
All right, fair enough. Easy.
So it's good. It's out. It's like I can't see it at all.
If you look out the door, still into the raging blizzard, it's gone.
Okay. I'm just gonna be.
Marius as well.
Well, I don't know what we're gonna do, but we should just sing a nice little song to feel better about our lost friend. You know,
Humble Marius, we knew him well.
to enter without knocking is so bold. Now you are letting in the cold. Well, it's nice that you have. I'd like you to leave, and you did. Otherwise, we'd have to cleave. Anyways, we don't want whatever it is you're trying to have sold. That's a little bit of courage.
Y'all feel courageous?
Y'all feel
Marius, you are not in range of this.
courageous? Oh, okay.
It is only
I thought I might have been.
it is only a 60-foot range.
I'm gonna try to hold on to that note. And
You were just a little
composition
loud.
it.
Okay. At level DC is 26 at 9 now.
Natural
That's
20.
nat 20.
Oh,
So,
You're
all
good.
so that is 4 rounds.
it lingers in the air. His beautiful poetry.
There's courage.
And then I have 2 whole actions. And I'm just gonna you know what? Let's go. I'm gonna give you fly. See what that does. I'm gonna be like, fly, you fool, and take to the sky. Go get Marius, maybe, if you want.
Go fetch, boy.
I can fly now.
Okay, you can fly now. Tell me when you want to step in.
Okay.
Oh, you coming in? Or?
No. Yeah.
So Trey,
Is it
you
still there, or did
you
it go
feel
whoosh?
this energy fill you, and you have no idea what this is right now, but you feel like you can fly all of a sudden. Never
The
happened before.
bathtub can fly.
What are we doing?
Is it still there?
It is gone.
Okay.
You saw it shoot up.
I
into
mean,
the
I'm
storm
gone
outside.
too. I'm gonna try and chase.
Make me an acrobatics check.
I am trained.
Train
It's
that we're
not
looking
a
for.
0.
Not a 0 is great.
Does a 21 fly?
21's pretty good. You take off into this storm. You have just been
I have
blessed
no clue.
with the ability to fly. This is brand new. This never happened before.
I just
Very
went forward.
unceremoniously dumped upon you in the middle of mortal peril, in the middle of an extremely intense blizzard that is both freezing and blasting wind.
Yup.
You see Trey go boom, boom. He flies up, pirouettes in the sky, and you see him crash down into the snow some 15 feet away from the door. Absolutely carried and tumbled by the winds and brought straight back to the earth. You don't take any damage, but
Gonna raise my shield.
not the greatest conditions to learn to fly in.
Kind of go.
What is our stress? Cool.
You are on the edge, good sir.
That makes perfect sense. I'm gonna raise my shield and try again.
Try to fly?
Yep.
Acrobatics check.
You got this.
You ever fly a dream before?
27.
27 will do it. All right, what's the fly speed?
It is.
Is it not just my move speed?
Is it your lane? Is it
It's
just
equal
move?
to your speed.
Yeah, so 25.
So you take it. You
20 feet.
get up, put your shield
Or
up,
20
and
feet?
Or 20 feet if yours was less.
Okay.
take a second try at this. Kind of focus in, and you see him
I know what the ground tastes like now.
wafting and shaking in the air.
Yeah.
With 20 feet, Trey starts to ascend. You head 20 feet up into the blizzard. Ah, cheers, everybody. Let us consume. It's from Corey. Thanks, buddy.
Oh, we spilled a little bit.
But as you start to ascend in the storm, the ground falling away from you, you see no sign of Marius or the creature.
I'm gonna step in.
MD stepping into initiative, taking his turn, as Trey also starts to clumsily fly away. What do you want to do?
I'm kind of jealous, honestly.
I have room. I could.
I'm gonna walk out into the blizzard, just kind of stare up at the sky. Ready and attack if it comes back down. This is it. This is me.
Let's go. Let's go, buddy.
I can't
Marius,
fly.
you don't know how high you've gone, but this is faster than you have ever traveled before. You're confident, even if there were no wind from the storm, the sheer force of the speed of your ascension would be like knives on your face as you shoot up, unknowable, into the sky. This creature just has you grasped in one hand, still gaze skyward. Other arm down at its side, almost loose, as it just shoots
It's Superman.
further upward like a rocket. What do you do? First of all, I need a stress check from you.
Great.
That is a very stressful event.
Just Marius.
14.
You're all right. You hold it together.
Can I perceive anything in this state? Like, can I see?
You can
any-
see it,
Okay.
and you can see the snow around you.
You know,
As you look at it, its form even starts to waver and waft. You wonder if the sheer force of the speed of your ascension is causing the entirety of the creature to waffle in the air. But then you notice that you start seeing snow not just flying past it, but behind it. It's starting to become transparent. It's wavering more and more, and as you look down, so are you. You are starting to become transparent along with it. You are ascending in the grip of this monster.
this doesn't seem good. I feel like we need to call a do-over. Can I try to wake up?
Make me a. You want to just try and wake up?
I
Just
don't
straight?
really see a great idea of what else to do right now.
Make me a will save.
That's a 17 plus 16 for 33.
33 is really good. So you're like, oh, nope, that's it for me, everybody, thanks. You close your eyes, you focus, and in that moment, somehow you find your center, you find peace. And you open your eyes back up, still rocketing up through the air. Still in the grip of this thing.
Oh no.
It didn't work.
This isn't good. Marius is gonna panic a little bit. I think this is gonna become a little bit more ghoulish and just try to like bite and claw.
Give me an attack roll. You can shoot. He's holding it. Just chomp down on that hand.
They can infect each other.
It was plague buddies.
Exactly.
That's an 11 plus. I'm guessing regular melee, so 27.
27. You bite and you chomp on his hand. It doesn't seem to phase whatever this thing is. It doesn't seem to care. Its grip does not loosen even an inch. You're restrained right now, but it's funny, so I let you do the bite because you critically succeeded the grab. So you don't have your arms, but just chewing on the finger at the top. It's not making a difference. You got one action left.
Uh-huh. I want to break free.
You can try that. It's a athletics check or acrobatics or unarmed strike of your choice.
You just gotta beat a 50.
Would be at a -5 because it's your second attack and you only got a 52 to grab you. So it's like,
Yeah, just roll a 20.
what's your athletics modifier?
14.
Okay, so just roll like a 36,
Yeah.
like 38. It's on your 20-sided die.
Roll 20.
Roll 20 forehead.
Can I pray?
One action.
One
Always
action
pray,
pray.
buddy. What the heck's we praying to? Just, whoever's listening,
Yeah.
you got anyone in mind?
Brazda, you out there?
Help? Or cry? Can I roll a cry?
Crying's free action.
Crying's a free action.
As this thing shoots up, Trey, you're flying up through the air. MD, Marius, and Reese are down on the ground, kind of just in disbelief. Reese and MD at the ready. No clue how to help this situation, either of them. Reese, her hand shoots down to her boot and pulls out a knife that she has in the hand with the war razor, and she looks like she goes to throw it. She's like, what's the bloody point?
The wind's just gonna blow it.
What do we do?
Wake up.
Trey, you hear the howl above you once more, and then screaming. It sounds like it's getting closer. And as you're going up, you see a figure.
No.
Hold on. Arrest a fall.
Maybe a reflex save.
Because it'd be funny.
He doesn't even
Maybe
roll
a
a 40.
reflex save.
It becomes an athletics check because I have rapid mantle.
This is not a. Look, I'm not one to say no to a rapid mantling
mantle
situation.
changes it to an athletics check. By having that feat, it just changes it.
Make an athletics check. Fine, I'll give you the athletics check.
Don't worry, it's only a 7. So, 26.
26. You see him shooting by, and you in an
Try to
instant,
grab out.
kind of adjust and try to grab him, and the three of you on the ground see this tumbling shape fall and slam into the ground. I'll say with that roll, both of you take half, so you'll both take 25 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall.
Can I
as you
shield block that?
crash. Shield block the ground. No. As you crash back
Hey, I gotta
into
ask.
the ground.
You can do it in Dragon's Dogma 2.
You can't do it. This is one of the funniest abilities in Dragon's Dogma 2. No, you cannot shield block the ground. Easy. You see them land like a meteor in a tumbled heap on the ground, like 10 feet away from you, sprawled out across the stone.
I imagine Trey did that. It worked. Trey grabbed them in midair and pile drove them down. Now what?
As you wonder here, Marius, as you flew through the air with this thing, You prayed, you cried, you did whatever you had. The ear-piercing howl that ripped out point blank when this thing was in its grasp rips through your mind before you feel it stop. It's just gone. You don't feel it let you go. You're not sure what happened. One moment you're shooting upward, and the next you're falling. You're falling for a moment through the air before you feel something relatively hard hit and slow you a bit, and then you feel something very hard
Slow you
stop
entirely.
your fall completely as you crash into the ground. Make me a will save.
What is it?
Good.
That's good.
What is it?
It's a 20. For
Thank
36.
God,
So lucky. You. Oh.
I've been here.
Oh.
We've done this.
Yes.
We've done this.
Of all the things they're all a 20 on, what's funny is that 36 fails. But the fact that it's a 20 bumps it up to a success. You're so goddamn lucky.
Can I explain what he just missed?
You're so you got no idea. We'll talk about the post show.
AJ's gonna kill me.
Oh, so, you ever seen Final Destination?
We had like a whole side quest to deal with this.
Yes. Oh boy, I'm gonna be excited to talk about that.
The group of you wait for a moment as Trey and Marius pick themselves up off the ground. You kind of look down at yourself and see
Imagine paying $50 to get nat 20.
the translucency fade as your form sort of recoalesces back to how it should be. You feel someone grab you and look up and see, if MD hadn't done it already, if you're still looking up ready to fight, Reese just literally grabbing you by the back of the collar, dragging you off the field of battle back into the building to safety.
I'm definitely just screaming like, no, I don't want to fall.
Stop, I'm trying to get you back. You might come, it's surely gonna come back down.
Pick up Trey.
Am I
group
just-
of you-
Does fly like make me hover at all, or
You can still walk normally, you just like,
Okay.
you had to think about it and you can fly.
I'm not gonna think about it. That wasn't fun. That was I have to go up there, and then now I don't. I'm not doing that.
You
One out of
retreat
10.
back into the building and wait. A minute passes, and then another, since the howl, since Marius came crashing back down to earth. With nothing but the screaming winds of the blizzard. The door destroyed, the usefulness of this shelter dramatically diminished. It's still certainly better than outside, but it's not a place you can stay for long. You don't see any signs of whatever that creature was returning. What do you do?
Well then,
Wake up.
wake up.
Wait, but is it gone now?
Doesn't matter. It's not here.
So there's nothing else to search for?
What do you do? You said just try to go to sleep?
Yep.
Yeah, close your eyes and pretend you're going
How
to
the
sleep.
bloody hell can you do that given this?
Sing to her, easy.
Huh?
Sing to her.
Jams their eyes shut. And the group of you all focus with the time that you have and try to wake up before this thing returns. You close your eyes, you breathe deep, and you focus. And when you open them, you're back in the strange pentagonal stone building.
Can't
Cold
wake
still
up.
ripping through the doors.
Something's wrong with the ritual.
Yeah, obviously. Thank you.
You don't seem to be able to wake up. But from Handsome Ganker, for Marius, a hero point. Keep defying the GM. Cause him suffering. Learn from Derp. I believe in you. You have no idea how lucky you are, man. Oh.
Misdirected attack. Are you gonna let them beat on you like that?
I didn't read mine off from Scott earlier. It's Ancestral Knight. It's who I am.
Ooh, you got the gamer card.
No, that's a good point. We got to go back to the gala, so you can also be a vampire.
Just collect
Just collect it
afflictions.
all the undead afflictions.
You don't seem to be able to wake up.
Do we have
Wake
the
me up
staircase in the dream?
inside.
It never
Don't
comes with
know.
us.
Yeah.
You walk down it
You
to
can just, like,
access it, so you couldn't tell.
Dream.
Do the ritual again.
I think we need to keep moving.
This is
Yeah.
impossible. I don't know how I'm trying.
What
You
if
can stop trying.
Don't we trying to leave?
Nah, it's messed up. It's not working.
Yeah, something went wrong with the ritual.
Dream machine broke.
And
So-
unfortunately, you got dragged in with us.
Okay, so then what's the backup plan?
Keep walking.
Hopefully there's a way out. I don't know.
Let's move into a nearby building, use as much healing as we can, and just keep going.
This is...
Well, you said we can't die here, right? That
Doesn't
is-
mean waking up's gonna be good if you die in here.
I don't know. If we can't wake up, I don't know. This is Cammy's field of expertise.
Of course, she's the one that's somehow not bloody here.
Yeah.
How's that even possible?
maybe we're in,
She's the one that had the staircase. She's the one that finished the ritual. How could she be the one that's not pulled in all this?
what if we're in her dream?
Maybe.
Maybe
She's
If
dreamed...
this is what Cammy dreams about, then I fully understand why she's so insane.
Well, she's dreamed about this city similar.
Yeah.
Similar structures.
Maybe she built this thing.
Probably not.
Okay.
Right then.
I'm freezing again.
We
Let's
need
get
to go
moving.
to another structure.
All right, lead the way.
Anyone know how to
I'll
stitch
quite literally
goldfish?
just lead us towards the nearest non-broken structure so that we can take a little bit of time to heal up.
Out, back once more into the cold. You find several more structures around similar to the first. However, they all seem to be in various states of disrepair. Some reduced almost entirely to rubble buried beneath snow, their very foundations barely visible underneath the blizzard. Some, their walls damaged, their roofs caved, their doors destroyed. You walk through the cold for a bit, trying to find some semblance of safety. And since Reese has the rock right now, everyone takes 6 points of cold damage as you continue to explore the city. Coming in from the edges of whatever this place is, Bolverai or some other, the buildings start to become more dense. The scope of this suggests no simple hamlet, no humble town. This is a city with a once thriving community. Buildings in many places look like they were linked together into intricate, almost hive-like structures that sprawl not just into the distance, but up and layered, interlinking across the roadways that you can walk between them. You find marketplace plazas standing empty, where surely trade must once have happened. Things that look like open-air stadiums left unattended, before finally a small nook that leads into a much larger interconnected structure. Some damage to the roof, but it's large enough that it provides pretty good relief from the cold and from the wind. You can hear the howling, almost like a song down from on high. But you're inside a much larger, massive part of a structure. A series of interconnected buildings. The walls lined with shelves that seem to hold small, rectangular objects. No discernible purpose that you can tell. Their material and their make as alien as the architecture of the city itself. You're safe for the moment, and you can spend the time necessary to bandage and heal yourselves back up. With what you have access to through mundane methods, it's going to be an act that will take a significant amount of time. I would say, just to save us rolling 4,000 medicine checks, every hour that you want... What's your proficiency in medicine?
I'm only trained.
Is anyone better than that?
I was thinking we just each eat one spell and just keep going.
Yeah.
I also have...
I was gonna give you the offer. That's an option, but I'm gonna give you the offer for not rolling medicine checks. Every hour you want to stay here, I will let everybody heal for 10.
I'll take the spell.
I also have 5 elixirs of life, lesser elixirs of life.
I don't
dream
have
or
bloody anything.
From the real world.
Yeah.
I don't even come without my own blade.
I passed 2 of them to him. I don't know what the numbers on them are anymore.
Well, I got knives, of course. I'm never gonna
Lesser?
fire one.
lesser. Is that 3d6 plus 5?
Okay, so
Yeah,
I
we
passed 2 to you, 1, 1, 1.
I don't know if the storm's abating or something, but... Or if it's some kind of magic. Walking through the town doesn't seem nearly as biting as it was to the cold outside.
If it's a bigger city, there's probably still some wind obstruction. Helps a little bit.
Helps a lot, honestly. Far more than I'd expect. Y'all pull out some potions, drink what you can, try to heal up quickly. You just know whatever that thing is, it may still be out there. And you don't want to, you can't rest easy knowing that.
I'll do another second level. Anyone need anything else? Anyone?
Hit
So what
me
are we
with
doing?
a
I saw
fourth.
some dice. So you took some
Okay.
potions.
Passed
You
potions
you passed some potions
Yep.
around. Was that all potions, or were you
Yep.
casting anything there? Izzy?
That was all potions.
That
He
was-
cast a second, and now I'm asking for a fourth.
Okay, so you're casting a few potent magics from the bard, trying to heal you up somewhat, but mostly potions.
And then I'm going to cast a 3rd level heal on myself.
with your magical scar magic.
Yeah, with my magical magic, I feels weird and empty.
Reese would spend the time treating herself a bit. She is an expert
48.
in medicine, and would do and end up using hers as well. Like you will heal for 10 an hour.
Fortunately,
What?
you have to roll.
Roll what?
Stress.
We're not in combat.
Oh yeah.
Unless you wanted the situation kind of stressful.
Not in combat. Quickly doling out
I mean,
alchemical elixirs.
Gets
and
me solidly back to tanking.
using some spells. A lot of you feel better. It's well, you take what you can get for now, right? What's the plan then?
Keep going.
The structure.
I mean, use the superstructure to get as far as we can and then back into the cold.
Fair enough.
Is the building still? Is it like? You said it had the little rectangles, but is it still kind of like as empty as the first building?
There doesn't seem to be much in the way of what you would think of as traditional furniture. This building is not as barren as the one before it.
Does it have like barrel slots?
There are outcrops coming out from the wall and raised sections of stone in the floor that can serve no purpose you can think of other than as tables, as spaces to work things, all of which are clear. There's little that you find throughout the buildings, save for these small rectangles slotted into these racks in the walls. Each of them, well, not much bigger, I guess, than an average cell phone, with rounded corners, flat, made of a hard and sturdy but a little bit pliable material, somewhat glossy. They're mostly featureless, except each of them has sigils scrawled down one edge. Sigils that look like they're clearly language of some kind, but definitely not one that any of you know. And one end of them is tipped with a few bits of what look like metal and crystal. Again, purpose unknown.
We're just in an alien Apple store.
They're all alien iPods. Alien iPods as far as the eye can see.
You said they're
What are you all-
slotted?
Yeah, they're kind of slotted, like they're shelves that are more bored into the wall. So these are basically slotted into the wall.
Okay, so
like
like
an
you
inset
can't like pull them out or
bookshelf.
push them in or.
You can take them out. Absolutely, you can take them out. They
take
slide
it out.
out easily.
Okay, I'm gonna take out a bunch.
You take a bunch of weird little objects. There you go. You got a bunch of little alien doohickeys.
Maybe we'll find someone who knows what this is.
Yeah, in the world devoid of all life.
Notably, other than the creature that attacked you earlier, you have seen absolutely no signs of life. Nothing.
No plants.
No refuse,
grass.
no plants, yeah, not even signs that insects have taken up refuge inside these structures. Nothing at all. It is completely lifeless.
Fun fact. Did you know that there's Arctic lichen?
No, but it doesn't really surprise me because there's lichen's crazy. That stuff's all kinds of things. What are you all doing as you explore the superstructure?
Can I use my stone cunning to try to see like more subtle details in the stonework to see if there's like hidden entrances or anything like
Absolutely. Maybe a perception check.
that? Okay. It's a 16 with 36.
36, my boy. Okay, yeah. As you look around, they're worn. Worn with time and with what amount of the elements are able to get into this building. There are still drifts of snow in various corners from the damage to the ceiling high above. And it looks like this structure is segmented not so much into floors strictly, but many of the large chambers are ringed by wide catwalks around the outside of the room. Accessible not by stairs, but exclusively by ramps. There is absolutely nothing leading up or down between any levels that isn't a smooth, rounded surface. And it's not like ground incline ground. There's no angles. It's smooth and curved, going from ledge to ledge, from landing to landing at almost seemingly random heights. There are more inscriptions of these sigils of this alien language along and next to almost all the racks of the tiny little, I'm just going to keep calling them alien iPods because I'll go ahead and stick with that, labels
Wouldn't it
of
be
some
MP3
kind
sticks?
that you can find, but again, without any way to understand what the language, no possible way to tell what it could be saying or what it could mean. But they are clearly different, and different racks are labeled with different things. Labels that generally appear to apply to the entirety of a rack.
It's a library.
Maybe Cammy will be able to discern some of them if we keep them.
What are the rest of you doing?
I'm seeking. I'm just eyes out.
Keep your eyes open.
At this point, shield raised.
Keep your shield up.
I don't know what's gonna pop out.
Keep your
Just
spirits high.
investigating, looking at the.
If you're investigating, give me a society check.
Ooh.
There you go.
Sick roll.
That
Put it
doesn't
in the-
count.
Put it on the dice cam. Put it on the dice cam. Fella's got to see the dice.
Okay.
Average.
It's an average roll.
What an average guy.
Hey, you could
Average
re-roll it
guy
into
with an
slightly
average
below
roll.
average.
Could.
I'll keep it. 21.
A 21.
That's a society.
It's kind of generalized. Just
Yeah.
looking at this with what Marius is pointing out for these labels and what you're finding on these small little things. Yeah, it does kind of seem like this might be some kind of a library. Maybe not so much a library as many of these chambers appear to be more private communal spaces. It seems more like a school or like a university, a place of learning, so possibly somewhere in between. You're fairly certain just from the context you have of these little blocks, these rectangles. They must contain some kind of knowledge or information. The metal and crystal bits on one end make it seem likely that it fits into something, perhaps something that would read them, because there's no other way that you can discern to do anything with them. You could maybe crack one open, but like beyond that,
Yeah, I'll look for slots.
there's no
take one,
obvious
start chewing
place
on
to
it.
put it. It's very possible that once these were compatible with devices that have long since been taken. But yeah, library or university seems to be fairly logical. The size of this
disks.
massive sprawling superstructure
These
would
are
support
just
that
alien
as well.
floppies.
They're just alien floppy disks. I mean,
Very much alien floppy disks.
Can I make a crafting check just to like look them over?
I mean, you don't need a crafting check, because from the outside, really, there's nothing much you can see beyond what I've already told you. Is that like it looks like that there's probably a device that reads these.
It doesn't like have a D battery effect when I put it on my tongue or anything.
No, licking it does not elicit any kind of a
what's it
response.
taste like?
Tase yourself.
You would also find that looking them over, you would find that it is a small bit of magic that powers them. They each do have a small enchantment across them. And you're not sure, but it doesn't seem like the information contained within is written like magically. These aren't like a tombstone or anything like that. But you're not sure what exactly it is without really sitting down to try to weave through it, which doesn't really seem like the time, unless you
Yeah.
want to.
We just take
Kind of
them with
assuming
us.
you guys are kind of busy on trying to leave.
Not-
You'll have these for later. There are dreams that suck less. When you
Yeah, I mean, colleges have other room, maybe.
With the
a
stone
mess hall.
cutting, you would be able to also find that some of these raised structures and the intersections and nexi of this chamber are not simply tables, but also directions. There are more of these sigils across doorways and across the various faces of these centralized raised pillars that, had you any way to read what they said, would direct you throughout the building. You can't tell what they say, but you can recognize repetition. You are capable of seeing patterns. So you can at least use that to kind of follow a line through the area here and make sure that it doesn't seem like while you're in this incredibly strangely laid out complex, you're not ending up wrapping around, doubling back, or finding places you've already been.
Look at our ranger. Keep us going in. a
He's
straight
ranging so
line.
hard. He got stone cunning. He's surviving. Turns
has
all
a
I gotta be
compass.
dropped into is a blizzard that kills you in 10 minutes, and the ranger gets to shine real quick.
Finally, the survival comes is useful.
Now, if only we were level 15 and you were legendary in survival, none of this would even be
As
a
you
threat.
explore, you hear the sound of the wind start to abate. It doesn't die down entirely, but it sounds like the storm is starting to clear outside. And by the time you've crossed the breadth of this massive campus to a door where you can see on the outside, again, none of these buildings seeming to ever feature anything like a window. Not a single glimpse to the outside without opening one of these sliding doors. You could look out into a frozen cityscape for miles all around. Coated in snow, caked in ice, gray, dim skies overhead. It's still frigid, but the storm largely seems to have passed.
Just a few wendigos flying around.
You don't see any sign of the creature that had appeared before. And now, even with a commanding view of, well, at least the urban area around you, still not a single sign of life.
Well, come on then. We're done here. Let's head off towards the center.
Is there any, can we see any building that looks obviously more outstanding?
You're deeper into the city now, and the buildings around you are large, intricate, interconnected, and convoluted. The architecture of each of them, even the smaller, simpler ones, is so alien to you that it's difficult to tell what could possibly be meaning to put apart any matter of importance. There's no grandiose pillars or entryways, walkways leading to anything that seem more important than anything else. But as you step out of the building and into the street, you can see that you're on what looks like it's a main thoroughfare, buried beneath snow to the city. And far down in the distance, at least a mile away, is a single structure that looks very different from the rest. A glossy black pyramid that rises up from the ground. Looks from here like it's well taller than any of the buildings around you now.
Let's go there.
We got a destination.
Do we want to hustle?
Hustle.
We may want to stick close to the sides of the buildings.
At least the cold has died down somewhat. It's not nearly as awful now.
For how long, we don't know.
Well, best make haste then.
Yeah, I'll
If you
quite
want to,
literally
hustling
hustle.
is an exploration activity you can do. It will forego any other exploration activities. So you're not seeking, you're not scouting, you're not doing anything. You don't get perception checks to notice things if there is something, but you get places twice as fast. If you want, this seems like it is a good situation for it to come. It is rare for the situation to really want to hurry. Because it kind of is pointless if you don't all do it. If you do want to hustle, kind of hurrying along, speeding through the environment, possibly at the whims of what may come, that's an option.
I would rather be ambushed and just keep jogging past.
Like
I think we're
Dark Souls run past it all. Approach.
Exactly. I think we hustle.
Hustle.
Yeah. Does it look like a storm could approach? Like, so we have clarity now. Do we see like the storm in the distance now that has left us?
The skies overhead are a flat, blank, overcast, pallid gray. Interestingly enough, you don't see anything thicker anywhere to indicate what a storm had passed to. You would expect one direction to just be a wall of fog and snow, but there is nothing. It seems equally clear all around.
So yeah, the storm could happen at any moment.
That's why we go quick, because
Yeah.
we don't know when it's going to happen again.
You hurry down the road quickly as you can towards the first sign of anything really different that you've seen. You clear away from the buildings before too long, this thoroughfare opening up into something that may be akin to a wide park, a massive plaza that leads much of the way up towards this pyramid. Off to one side, there is a raised pentagonal platform with a ramp kind of spiraling up around the outside of it to a huge structure that's, my words fail me, the shape of this thing. What's it, the shape of a D12 called? Dodecahedron, question mark. Dodecahedronal sculpture at the top of it. Capped, of course, like everything else here, with snow. And as you pass it, MD,
Explodes.
you feel a pull, a calling towards that raised structure, and you do not know why.
His class quest is in there.
Go towards the raised structure. Hey, this way.
Okay.
It doesn't look markedly different than the rest of the buildings here. It doesn't look as nearly as out of the ordinary as the pyramid. You don't know what it is, MD, that calls to you, nor do any of the rest of you know why he would signal to change your direction. But it sounds like you all turned with him.
Yeah.
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 Maybe a little questioning, but you're
I'm a
like,
little questioning.
okay.
It's like, okay, we're not going to the pyramid. Okay.
You head over to the base of the ramp that spirals up around the structure. Slicked with ice and snow, these curved ramps are somewhat surprisingly steep and somewhat difficult to stumble up. It's much larger of a structure than it looked like at first as you approach, and it winds around in a spiral towards this dodecahedron up at the top. It's tall enough, maybe 15 feet tall, that you can't see up above. Walls around the outside of this ramp raise up another 10 feet above the ramps themselves. You can only see the top half of this little sculptured thing. But as you make your way carefully around this spiral to the top, you see the first two living creatures since, well, whatever ambushed you before. The first, a horrible, nightmarish abomination. Perhaps the kind of things you would expect to find here. A writhing red mass of tendrils, tentacles, and eyes.
Is it jabbering?
It's not quite that shapeless, but the rear half of it looks almost like a massively oversized larva, like a huge insectoid white grub just sat in the snow. The front splaying out into a series of green eyes set into pink flesh, a mass of almost octopodal tentacles down below, and somewhat isometric, geometric, almost antler-like fleshy structures above. It's a creature that sits some 20 feet tall. It is huge and horrible to look at. The second, laying in the snow next to it, is Cam. Dead, unconscious, you can't tell. But as you arrive here, this thing immediately turns its attention as it's sat facing Cammy. It doesn't appear to be doing anything with her, just looking towards the group of you as you approach. And almost immediately a sound starts to emanate out from it. Almost like a song, a maddening intermix of varied tones that seem to be coming out from this structure atop its head that sounds like it bores itself into your brain.
Listen to the sound of my scream. I'm gonna counter it, whatever it's doing.
You want a counter performance?
Yes.
Counter performance.
13 plus 19 is
32.
32.
It is. What are you doing? You're just screaming.
I'm just like, ah!
I sort of feel like counter performance is literally you just hear someone scream and you're like, I'm going to scream louder.
Yeah.
It sounds almost like music in a strange way coming out from this creature. The very notes that come out from whatever the structure atop its head is, it's a song of sorts, but one that is so confusing to your mind it makes it difficult to focus.
Just singing happy birthday really loud.
Easy sings as well. And as he does, you don't just hear his voice, you hear an accompaniment. You hear a violin. You hear a different song, more centered, more focused, piercing alongside what at first is just Easy's panicked screaming, but quickly finds harmony with his voice. It focuses all of you as this huge grub starts to turn and heave its bulk around towards the group of you. As it does, as if manifesting from the very cold of the snow around you, you see rising up on either side of it two swirling creatures of ice. They look like, almost like serpents or snakes, crafted of solid ice themselves, whirling first on the ground and then above the snow as the two of them twist and turn from the edges of the platform towards you. Let's roll some initiative, friendos.
I mean, I would make sense. Nat 1 for that. Wasn't expecting it.
It's
But-
like, what the hell?
Battle cry.
Pick a
Man.
snow
Pick
snake.
2 snow
Ooh,
snake.
pick 2 ice snake. Okay.
Because I'm going to
You
use
got
the
your
Grim
helmet.
Trophy.
Oh, the Grim Trophy. Solid.
Yeah.
All right. Give me. They're up top. Give me
So
your.
for
roll.
the first one, because they are separate checks,
Okay.
that will be. Is that a 13? That's a 15. Okay, so 32.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's scared.
Is it scared or very scared?
It's not very scared.
Okay.
It's definitely scared. Not critically scared, but scared.
And then for the other one, hoopla! That's an 8. So 25.
No one's not scared. First one's a little scared though. And what's your total initiative?
That is a 17.
17. What you got? Easy.
Forgot what I had, and then you got hit. Just gonna roll again.
Let's do it again.
Nat
Okay.
20.
Okay. Nat
Banging.
20 plus 15, 35.
35. MD.
Okay, I'm ready.
Rolled a 3 on the die, but MD's kind of focused on Cammy, and as soon as he realizes what's happening, he's going to try to jump into action. I'm going to use this hero point from a same 220 thing to roll an 11 on the die, which is way better than the 3. So it's a total
That's more than 3 threes actually. That's a big increase.
27.
27. Okay, that's definitely right here in the middle between the hilariously low and the hilariously high number. Marius, where do you want to go on the scale?
I got another natural 20 for 38.
So you guys see Cammy.
I'm
and you,
really jumpy.
You see Cammy and you lock in immediately.
After the ghost deer,
Yeah, I think understandably I'm on edge.
I'll use. Does this count as using a villain point against EZ if it's initiative so I can do stuff before he gets to do stuff? I'm gonna use Ghost of Azans because I too rolled a natural 1 on my initiative here.
You're good,
Let's
Captain.
not do that. Not a fixed point in the timeline, but also still not super high. It's a 31, so he's gonna be right there in the middle. Now, Marius, you see this creature, this big thing, this tentacled monstrosity is shifting to look towards you, but it's not immediately moving your direction or doing anything obviously hostile. These 2 serpents, however, very much are, and you are the first to react.
I'm very torn because I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to aim at these serpents, but going after the hostile ones makes more sense. So I guess I'll go with the farthest one, the
Okay.
slightly yellower,
We'll say he rolled them in order, so the one closest to you is the
Oh.
feared one. So not the not feared one.
the not feared one. I'll hunt prey on that, and
Okay.
then I'll give him a little deadly aim.
Plink.
I don't think a 4 is going to hit, even if that is a 22.
22 is not, no.
Okay.
Take a shot, and even without the wind, your arrow glances off their body, which appears to just be solid ice. It bounces off like it struck a frozen surface, though they're moving fluidly like snakes.
Try a little harder.
just do better.
Probably not. That's
Just do better for me.
26, and then worse.
Yeah, your arrows glance off the frozen body of this creature. You can hear the sliding and cracking of ice as they move, but their body, as far as you can tell, looks like it is a solid structure. Your arrowheads just bounce off harmlessly. You have one more? Or
No, that's it, if
You,
I
oh,
hunt
because
the
you have
prey
to use
first.
your action to hunt. So easy then.
Okay. I'm gonna look at this weird hermit crab looking thing and be like, well,
I said
Don't-
snail was what I called it. but-
snail. Don't get near. Get away from Cammy, our seer. I don't know if you can frown, but we're gonna cut you down. I hope to instill fear. This is Dirge of Doom.
Urge
Ooh.
of Doom.
Okay, Dirge of Doom. You put a little fright on everybody.
Yeah, everybody's spooked.
All right, I'll take that. No save or anything. That just happens.
This happens. They're scared. And I'm just gonna turn to the nearest, the green one, the green snowy
Okay.
crystal thing. I'm just gonna blast it. I'm gonna hit it. Hit it with a nice ray. I'm gonna be like, and you. I don't know if you're working for him, but you're dead too. I'm gonna spell attack him. It's a 9. I'm not gonna do that.
It might hit.
It might hit. But no, I won't risk it. I'm going to do. I'm gonna do press on. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Notes.
Nebula 315. And it's very slippery, and I'm gonna center my footing.
Very slippery.
Okay, there we go. 18 plus 17 is
35 absolutely. It's the
35.
frightened one.
Okay.
Ice serpent.
Let's
did
see
it.
what this chromatic ray is. It's gonna be.
Oh, it's the mystery beam.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
I love the mystery beam.
It could be nothing.
It could be anything. It could even be a boat.
Yeah.
Like it's
1d4.
In a new car.
3. Ooh, okay, yellow electricity. It just deals 50 electricity.
You shot it with a taser.
just
Yeah.
just 50 electricity damage. Wow, 50's a lot. Okay.
It does 50 of X.
Just no roll. Just it doesn't gonna save or anything.
He has to hit.
Oh, you have to hit.
Okay, fair enough. This is 50. Like,
It's
it
scaling.
takes 50 electricity damage.
Its scaling's not great, but at the level you get it, it's a really good.
I
spell.
cast 9-volt battery.
we hear boo, and then tick, 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 of a taser starting up.
Yeah, you see this ray blasts out, the line hits it, and just a surge of lightning shoots down this thing's body as it jerks and coils in response. Clearly pretty effective.
Didn't like
He
that.
learned that one.
I don't
from
know how well
taser
ice
already.
conducts electricity, but it seems pretty well.
Water.
I guess it's water, yeah. It's
Water is
Okay.
terrible at conducting electricity.
Well, I'm going to say that one is not happy about that. And it's not a massive amount of space that it takes up, but it is a long serpentine creature. From its position on the top of this little wall around the ramp next to you, still some like 8 feet ahead. It's high enough that you can reach it with regular melee weapons. It's not so high to be out of reach. It lashes and snaps down. You are within its reach down there. It's a long boy. It's going to bite at you because that hurted. And it's going to get 25 to hit.
Ooh. No.
So a little jerks from the electricity a little bit, twitches as it goes into bite and just misses. And then it's going to pull back, kind of whip around, bring its tail up, and fling a shard of ice down your direction that just shoots towards you.
Okay.
Trey's not in range, but it is a range attack. Our only squares is 10 feet.
I wouldn't have a reaction.
Oh, true. This is the least square map Paizo has ever produced. So we're vaguely estimating distances. Use your best judgment. We gave up trying to put an actual grid on this one. I don't know if this was like free-handed or what. Not square. But we're doing our best.
It
here.
makes sense in the world because these guys know how to make 5-sided things.
Non-Euclidean world.
Natural one to shoot the little ice spike. And from that, it is going to...
Cry.
I guess moving away is not really going to help it. It flings the thing of ice out of its tail and then just whips its tail at you directly. We'll give it one last try. We got this. 26. 25 because he's frightened one. So no, still 25.
And because I made him frightened,
Oh, he's going to be taking the persistent damage, which can't end because he's still frightened because it's Dirge of Doom.
that's right, 3 persistent damage that
The
will
one-
not go away.
On the far end is going to lead by flinging a... Well, it needs to get out of position. It's going to move around the rim of the wall here.
It's gonna
to
grind.
come around this huge structure at the center of the plaza before slinging a shard of ice at randomly generated Marius. It's Marius gets hit
always-
by stuff day.
He just did the sickest grind on this rail, came out and just threw an ice knife at you.
25.
Almost.
These rolls are terrible.
Almost.
Almost.
Second shard of ice.
Get a 24.
MD.
So the big grub hasn't made any move at all?
The big grub has not. It is moved to face you, but is just kind of watching from past this huge structure, which really does just look like a dodecahedron perched on a massive pentagonal plinth that's about 4 feet tall. It's somewhat behind that, just watching this. It doesn't seem to react other than looking to you nor to these frozen serpents that have appeared.
I'm going to let Trey... I'm going to wait for Trey to move before I do anything.
Then Trey, go ahead.
The big thing is looking.
It's just looking.
Yeah. the ice thing is throwing knives.
They are throwing shards of ice towards you.
I'm
Not
gonna
very
go
effectively so far, but they're
Hit
doing
the
it.
ice thing.
All right, fair enough.
I'm gonna let the one that's frightened continue to be frightened.
They're all frightened. No, they're to doom.
Well, yeah, but that's not my fright.
That's true.
That one will continue to be dying slowly. This one I will make dying slowly.
All right, you can get over there through the snow in a move.
Alrighty.
I'd say we could within 25 feet to get within your reach.
Yeah.
Just barely, just on the edge, but you can get there.
And then knockdown.
Ooh, knock off the wall. Okay. Give me a knockdown. Give me a swing. He's frightened, so his AC is a little worse.
40. I rolled a 19.
That'll do it. That's a crit. Yeah, the
Yeah.
40's a crit. So I would consider
I got our first 40.
him probably first party 40, I think. So, makes you feel a little bit better about the 52 to grab you earlier.
A little bit. A little bit.
And then 8, 15 damage, just because it is part of the hit. And now,
15?
yeah,
30?
30.
Crits? Okay.
Yeah, 30 because it's a crit. He's now clumsy 1.
He's
and
also
I get to
frightened.
trip him.
Yeah, give me a trip. Knock the noodle off the wall. You hear a resounding crack as this spear shatters through the ice body of this thing.
Only a 21. I rolled a 2.
No blood, no viscera. It truly appears to be a creature formed entirely of ice.
Do I get raising?
As it just splinters. You don't get raising.
That'd be
And
funny.
a 21 is not going to knock it down, as it twists back reflexively, both in pain and defense. But at 30 damage is a pretty big hit as we come to MD.
Cool. Seeing that, I'm gonna look over to the one that Trey just hit, focus on it, and I want to do a teleport punch to it.
All right, give me a swing. You see MD just appear in the air next to this as you strike, just swinging.
28 to hit. It's
28 to his frightened flat-footed will hit.
Yay! Does it take sneak attack damage?
Sure does.
Oh boy, I'm excited.
Right in the back of its little serpent head. You gotta love the instant transmission punch. That dream scythe, whatever magic's imbued within it, allowing you to just flit
10,
across
14,
the field.
15, 20, 26 bludgeoning damage. It takes a good old punch to the face.
Solid hit indeed. And then suddenly back where you started as if nothing had happened.
And then I want to move towards Cammy.
As you approach Cammy, this large grub, this larva, whatever it is, it fixes its 6 eyes on you, but again, it doesn't move. Doesn't move to stop you. Doesn't move the defender. It just watches you approach. It's contemplating. Back to Marius, the top of the round.
Before I start, I'm gonna shout out the obvious that thing might be protecting Cammy. If she's been here this long and hasn't, well, been more obviously harmed.
That's why I'm not attacking it.
Yeah, I think let's not make any jumps to hurt it yet. Am I within range where I am to hit the frightened?
Hit both the frightened one.
Okay, the one
you
closest to it, the green one. Can I hit that with a sword?
No, you'd need to. These squares are 10 feet, so you're like
Okay.
15 feet away from it.
All right, well,
You're at like the maximum range. It feels like it can reach snapping at you on the wall. The path is just narrow enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure how effective my bow is going to be, so I will quick draw my short sword and
Okay.
move over there and try to make a couple swipes.
Move up, take a swing at it. You'll have one action left after this attack.
Natural 1.
You'll have one action left
I
now.
slip a little bit on the
Little
ice.
slidey, you slide in there. It does the ice level. We're not ready for it.
Okay, that's a 17, and with
For the short sword, it's agile. You only have a -2.
yeah, 17,
Flurry ranger, man.
30, I think it's 30.
30 definitely hits. Give me a slap. Give me a good old ghoul sword slap. It's been a
Little
minute since the
slap.
cavalry sabers come out.
10.
Solid. Nice. Easy.
Okay. So it's not hurting Cammy so far, but I still gotta deal with this little ice snake. So I'm gonna be like, today is not your day. I'm gonna hit you with my ray. Cause like my ray, I'm unpredictable, and that snail looks delectable. So you all I will slay, and that's continuing Dirge of Doom.
He's in the spooky arc now.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna blast him again with the ray.
So anyway, I start blasting.
And I am going to cut through the fog.
Cut through the ice. More like it.
Yes, and that was from
Flipper, 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 flipper,
Could be a thing.
flipper.
Yeah, it should be a thing.
I mean, it's saying at the table, they're out for the table. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
it was
that
a
was the
thing.
one he pulled out when he gave everyone at the beginning of the session.
Yeah. So cut through the fog. Thank you, Hussein. I am going to recenter again.
Thank you, Sam.
That's cocked.
That is, as much as I want to say it's a 20, that's cocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the test.
Okay, 15
That's fine.
Okay.
plus 17.
Yeah, it definitely hits.
Okay. It's gonna die.
Get it in the tray.
He's going to die.
What's it do?
Okay, 1.
Fire.
So yeah, fire. 30 fire damage to the one that already got hit by it.
It's made of ice.
Yeah, so
Hey,
it
where's
takes,
this alchemist
it
fire?
takes-
What happens to that one, Easy?
Yeah, it just melts into a little puddle, and all its little cute rains stay on the ground.
Absolutely just
And I point at the other one.
blast. You literally do. The beam erupts with fire across it and just melts this thing in half as it drops soundlessly. No screams, no screeches, just the sound of the ice hitting the snow softly around you. And then you still have an action. Oh, yeah, that was 3 actually.
Yeah.
This one is going to twist it up on the wall after this big hit, pull its head back, its mouth open like it were screaming, but no sound comes forth. And it pulls back, bringing its head down low as if it were going to snap at Trey. But instead of continuing forward, you see a bundle of snow and freezing fog well up in its mouth and then shoot out forward in an icy blast of frozen shards that rip across the platform through the perfect line of Trey and Easy and Marius. I need all 3 of you to make me a reflex save.
The stars
from
align.
the line of icy shards.
Man, I'm glad
30.
I moved.
30 will absolutely succeed. He'll take half. DC's lower because he's frightened.
17. Wait, 19. 19?
19 doesn't critically fail
Hey.
because he's frightened 1.
That's
The
what
-1
matters.
to the DC makes you not critically fail. Marius,
27?
27 is a regular failure.
Sad.
Whoa,
because
that's the window.
I mean, well, you know, if you know 19
Yeah.
isn't a critical failure, you know where the DC is.
Yeah.
So 27 is 1. You need an additional +1. You need the secondary +1.
Do I have an additional
So this is going to be a combination of cold and piercing damage,
How
both from the frost, the fog, and the actual spikes ripping through you. It's going to be 18 points of damage to Trey and 36 to Marius, who will be taking the full damage. And sorry, then 36 to you as well. Easy.
Ouch.
But then rapidly followed up, Trey, as you shoulder the brunt of this in your armor, are the jaws coming right behind with a 37 to hit.
Not a crit.
Not a crit, baby!
that
Frightened
grin.
1, baby.
That grin.
Is it the frightened was the -1?
Yep.
Oh, the frightened 1 value stopped the crit failure on the breath and a crit hit from the bite.
Because I have 28 AC.
God, you love the +1 -1s, man. They're important. Fully at lower damage. Only 24 points of piercing damage as it bites. Still a good bite, but okay.
I'm-
Would've been
I'm
48
fine,
if you
yeah.
didn't have the frightened on there.
48, I'd be worried. 24, I'm fine.
And now it is your turn, Trey. It's still very much in range
Smash.
and still pretty hurt from the hits.
Raise shield. Dual-handed assault. And then if it's still alive, poke.
It's crazy dual-handed assault's 1 action.
Yeah, it's a flourish.
I know, it's wacky. I guess flourish is the balancing point.
If
All
it
right.
wasn't, it would just be my attack. Just
Yeah.
dual-handed assault
That's
over
fair.
and over and over.
I know, that's what I mean. It's like, it's so good. Like, it feels like it should be power attack, but like, it's...
Well, that's another 40 with a dual-handed assault.
What happens to him?
Well,
he's not surviving another a dual-handed crit from
I could
Trey.
roll 2 1s.
Roll it. Roll it.
When have you ever rolled
Roll me
2
your
ones?
damage, Trey. That's what I
That's
thought.
a 5 and a 2.
Okay. So what's your total? 70? Okay.
No, I don't hit super hard. That's going to be
dual-handed?
14.
It ups
it's
his weapon
D8s.
Oh, it just makes him D8s.
Yeah.
I'm still pretty sure he's dead. What's your total?
So 7 goes to 14, 28.
Yeah, it's shattered. 20.
Yeah.
It had like 19 health left. So they are not particularly hardy, these ice serpents. And as With
We
a second
did
strike,
it.
what happens? As you shattered
As-
through this permanently frightened sad fellow.
Well, as the raising spear hits the living ice sculpture, what a surprise! It shatters.
It's like your weapon was built to destroy solid objects. or something. You are left now just with this creature. The music still
Oh yeah,
emanating out
the Wendigo shows up.
from this strange structure atop its head. This violin music still around accompanying the biting words, this dirge of doom that was coming forth from EZ. And as the battle stops, so too does the strange music coming from this thing, this hermit-crab, this snail, this larva, this grub, whatever you want to call this strange alien. It still just watches. MD, as you hear this very swift battle, ended very decidedly by big crit energy behind you, and you approach Cammy, still just laying on the ground. She is, looks like she just dropped there, like she fell. She's face down, just kind of crumpled in a space in the snow. Half on her front, half on her side. Exactly the position that she had fallen into before you had all been sucked into whatever this is. A quick check shows you she is breathing. That's easy enough to find. She's not dead.
Where's Greenie?
She's just unconscious. You don't see Green.
Hey,
Yes, we do.
Is that Greenie?
That's Greenie.
plot twist.
You look at
Just
it,
like
and it's
you
six
turn
eyes,
into
like, Greenie?
that and Greenie.
Call out to it. Hey, lizard.
As you call out to the thing towering over her, towering over this whole plaza, it doesn't respond. Its gaze still just set on you. Its tentacles gently undulating, but little motion beyond that after it kind of hauled itself around to look your direction. You do hear a response, though. Not words, the gentle crunch of snow, of footsteps coming up the same ramp the group of you had walked to come up to this plaza. Quiet footfalls in the snow, but it doesn't sound like anyone attempting to hide themselves.
It's just the Geico lizard coming up.
Sound that wouldn't really reach you past the walls of these ramps until it was near enough to the platform. The group of you all turn to see a human figure approaching. It walks upright and tall, but with a large cane, staff, in its hand. It bears no weight on it. It doesn't appear to need the object for support, but carries it nonetheless. His whole body is cloaked in robes, obscuring every single bit of skin. Understandable, given the cold, but still unsettling, given the pale, uniform yellow of its whole outfit. Even the face of this figure is fully obscured by a very simple carved mask with little for features save for a single slightly frowning mouth and two slots for eyes. A figure that you have seen before, just not in the flesh. In a moment, you are brought back to your experiences in the asylum. When you first awoke, fighting for survival with no idea who or where you were. You had fought your way to the very heart of the facility, to Administrator Lissandro's office, and there you had seen a trio of spirits in the fog. One, assuredly the Tatterman, a face you all wished you knew less. One, of a strange old woman none of you still have any connection for, and a third of this figure, clad in robe and mask. As he approaches up onto the plaza, he doesn't look at any of you, but simply at the massive hulking beast at the far end, as he slowly works his way through the snow towards it. He would walk straight past Cammy and MD, glancing down at Cammy's figure before continuing to stride up alongside this huge thing, planting his staff in the snow and stopping. I understand now. It was her the whole time. The small one. He turns around to just kind of look across the group of you and then down towards Cammy and sort of gestures with the staff. It had to be something. It is impossible that, even given her impressive power, the influence of the doll could persist forever, indefinitely, across all time and space. There had to be a way it was renewed. It is linked. Her. Yes?
I'm going to pick Cammy up out of the snow. I don't know what you're talking about.
Marius has definitely had his bow drawn since the moment we heard him. Kind of been tracking
He
him.
doesn't seem bothered by the fact that you're training an arrow on him or
Is that
any of your reactions.
doll like DOLL?
We've heard the phrase before.
Yeah.
We received her blessing, or I don't know. It's all confusing and it's all words I don't understand.
She protects you from the blot that you all carry.
Yes.
Him most of all, as he points towards Marius. With that level of infestation, none of you should be capable of walking or standing or thinking. You should be one with the whole, vassals and servants. But I understand it is her. Wake her. Sever your connection here. But the doll's protection may no longer carry throughout the unending void. Or stay, are your choices. Do you think you can survive? A city lost to time and further to life. These things, he kind of points at the shattered serpents, they're not from here. Nor are the myriad other beasts and scavengers that will eventually find you. The sole source of nourishment left in this dead shell. Stay if you please. Or wake her.
Is this Wolverine?
Indeed. Strange you know of this place, but not your own origins, or your connections, or even the doll. You know not your benefactor. Not at all?
No. The only reason we know of this is we met survivors. We were told of this.
You understand nothing of the effort she has put forth to keep you safe, or the reasons why. No matter. Your choices here are plain. Wake her and lose it, or stay and wither.
What's at the pyramid?
Nothing any longer. It was once the center of this town, where they would meet, discuss, plan civics, organize government. It was the heart of Bulgarai, but as dead now as the rest of this city.
Who are you? What are you doing here? How do you know us?
I have had many names in as many places, but here, you may know me as the Pallid Mask.
That's a great name.
What's this big snail?
This,
Yeah.
a servant
Of the doll?
of the king.
King Yellow?
Indeed.
Okay.
It is a spawn of the inmost blot. What, without her protection, you would all soon become, or something akin to it. It found her, led me here, led you here too, perhaps.
The blot found Cammy and led her here? Or the snail?
I know not how she arrived in this place. By all logic, it should be impossible now. And yet here, not just she, but you all stand. Go. Wake her. There is no other way to leave.
But you're saying that if we wake her up now, unlike other times we've come into dreamland, that we're gonna lose some kind of protection?
You see him cock his head. The most expression you can make out to the mask. You speak of this as if it was not real. As if you were simply asleep. You do not even know how you have come here yourselves, do you?
We did a ritual to put us to sleep to go to the Dreamlands.
Gentle shrug of the shoulders. I know not of what magic she performed, nor how to explain them. You are here, in totality and in full.
But how would waking us up send us back?
She is the doll's connection. I cannot see anything else that holds you here. The only way she could conceivably have arrived in the state that she is in is if the doll had called her here directly. To recharge. To renew their bonds. For protection. This would take some time. Time I do not believe any of you are capable of surviving here. You are welcome to try, of course.
If
I say we take our chances.
and wake her up, or stay.
Stick around a little longer.
I don't know if
You think this scale is something of days, years, or even mortal lifespans?
From what I've seen recently, the scale seems a little broken. I don't know what it is anymore.
But if we're not in a dream, this is a lot more dangerous. 'Cause if we're just here, then this.
If we're not in the
risk is
dream,
much.
why do we have our stuff? And why do you look like a Leng ghoul?
I have found what I need. One way or another, this problem has resolved itself. Whether you die frozen or leave, severing your shield, this is no longer a concern. And he turns and just sort of gestures briefly with the staff towards the little larva thing, which slowly just kind of starts to wiggle to the side, up, clambering over the walls, which, while 8 feet tall, massive to you, are just kind of a quarter of this thing's bulk. As it slithers its way back down to the town, and the pallid mask goes to walk back towards the ramp. I am needed here no longer.
If this place is so hard to get to, what made you come here?
Here. Carcosa is my home. And he walks towards the ramp. You are left
We're not in Bulverai, are we?
He said we were.
here on this plaza amidst the snow, still freezing. The blizzard has stopped, but the danger has not entirely passed. You've been out for some time now. Everyone takes 4 points of cold damage. It's much less severe, but it's still freezing. Even from that alone, beyond what you could survive for too long.
Do we want to check out the temple or just wake her up?
I think we should just wake her up.
Yeah,
She's gonna have to wake up eventually, anyways.
things aren't looking great
I don't
right
think
now.
we need anyone's protection. We got our own. I think we'll be fine.
Just look at Marius. Yeah.
What?
He's the most blessed by the blot.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Let me figure out everything.
We go back immediately, all turn into slugs.
Reese just throws their hands up. What the hell is any of this happening?
We don't know.
So basically, yeah.
That's a good question.
You,
We'll answer that maybe.
You know the phrase, just go with it. Pretend like you know what you're talking about. It's all
Either-
one.
I don't understand. I've been frozen in my very mind. I don't understand how words work anymore. Or that thing just implied that this is Carcosa.
Yeah.
But it's not.
He's also said it's Bolveron. So.
Could be both.
And then is this what you want?
This
This
isn't what Carcosa is. It's not a frozen hell world.
For all you know.
So here's what we understand. The Stellae were on this world too,
Yeah.
and the same thing happened. They're like anchors that pull everything, and it killed this world. That's what we understand about the Stellae.
So, what? Does
We don't know. There could be more to it.
I don't think he's wrong. We haven't been here for very long, and already we're all nearly half frozen to death, and if that howling thing shows back up again, I don't think we're going to last very long.
Oh, we gotta wake her.
I don't know we have another option. Especially if it does matter if we die here. Which I was very directly told it wouldn't.
It doesn't.
It shouldn't.
But we also usually can wake up when we close our eyes and think
There's a
about
lot of conflicting information.
it. Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to.
Well, I vote the most
test
likely
that.
way to not die, if nothing else, we wake up Cammy. Either we all wake up safe and sound at home, or, nothing happens, but at least we have Cammy, right?
Yeah, maybe she'll know what's going on.
Yeah.
Reassuring.
Give her a band-aid.
Slap her in the face.
You just kind of just gently smack the side of Cammy's face. You see her shake her head a little bit and start to wake up. All of you feel an insurmountable force yank you backwards through space. And there is where we will end today's adventure.
We saved Cammy.
That's going to be it for us today,
good job.
everybody.
We did it.
We'll be back again. I'm going to repeat until I figure out where exactly it's going to be happening, that the schedule is a little question mark going forward, and that it's quite likely this is going to become a bi-weekly or a 2 out of 3 weeks Saturday adventure. But hopefully, as far as I know now, next Saturday, we should be back here, same time, same place, for another episode of Strange Aeons. 3 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/UGT show. If you're watching us live, thank y'all for being here. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank y'all for being here. If you're listening to this on a podcast, thanks for being here. All the support is support. Doesn't matter what avenue you're using.
If you're watching us on a calculator,
If you're
how'd you
hearing
do
these
that?
words,
If
you're
you're
helping us out and you're pretty cool.
and if you are watching us on a podcast, I am waving at you right now, giving you a
You gotta
big
give them the
thumbs
audio,
up.
the verbal cues. Check out our partners if you want to help us out a little further. Ark and Forge, cool map making software, virtual tabletop. Eldritch Foundry, great miniature creator. You can get some fantastic resin sculpts from. And Norse Foundry for every kind of beautiful dice you can imagine. Discount code UGT show works on all of those platforms. Or if you want to help us out a little more directly, here in about pretty much immediately after I'm done this spiel, we're going to record our post show. We're going to talk a little bit about a specific natural 20 that happens. We're going to do what we do every day, Pinky. We're going to generate a little more bonus content for the boys out there and the ladies and everything in between. Any of you guys support us on Patreon or on Ko-fi with a $5 monthly tip. Either way, you'll get access to 100% of our extra content. Post shows for every one of these tabletop adventures we do. Thank you all for being here. Enjoy your weekends. Stay safe. Stay sane.
Stay warm.
Stay warm.
Stay toasty.